Well, welcome everybody. Happy holidays to you. It's this hump day edition of AFR. I'm Ronnie Rance filling in for Matt Moscona this week, who's Bahamas. Where Bahamas, Hawaii? Where's Matt this week there? Moose? Where do we think he's at? Just enjoying Baton Rouge from the sofa, or are we on a exotic vacay somewhere?
I mean, if he's going to go exotic vacay, I mean, Bahamas sounds good, but he's probably just hanging around.
Yeah, just enjoying Santa Maria.
Not having to be here. Just
yeah. Well, we're glad to be here today, filling in for Matt. And as you know, Hunt pointed out last hour, the big news of the day, just in the last 45 minutes or so, Butte not going to be catching balls in the Citrus Bowl for the LSU Tigers. And we don't know why. We just know that LSU put out a press release, not going to be available to play in the game. He is enrolled for the spring. Now, wasn't it just a few weeks ago that we saw this, hey, he's coming back his senior, for another year. We all assumed he was going to go pro. He had a disappointing year catching passes and being a big part of the offense. And, we all assumed he just wanted out, didn't seem happy. And so we were all excited. Okay, well, wow, he's coming back. That's great. And we tried to read in, what does that mean? What does that mean? Does that mean that we're going to have a different quarterback? Did he and Jaden Daniels kiss and make up? Did they kumbaya? Are they on the same page now? Or does it mean Jaden Daniels is going to leave and that it's going to be another quarterback, Nussmeier, someone else? And, Jaden Daniels is back. And we thought, okay, well, they must have kissed and made up. Well, now Butte's not going to be in the Citrus Bowl. Is he academically ineligible? I mean, is it that? Is he just sitting out because the game's not big enough? It's not meaningful enough. He doesn't want to risk injury. All I know is that before this year, if you ask me which do you prefer, NFL or college, when it comes to football, I would have said 100% college football. But now I've flipped. I've officially flipped because I've had it. I've lost it. Like, at least in the NFL, these guys have contracts, multi-year contracts. Now, I understand that you can always get out of a contract and all that, but for the most part, a third of the players on the Saints team, for example, are going to have be back next year, and you know who they are because of their contracts, and or whatever your favorite team is. But instead, the college football has now turned into a 6-month deal. It is a year-to-year contract. It is. These players are on average over the next 4 or 5 years. I guarantee you, when you look at juniors and seniors for college football teams and the Power 5 conferences, it's going to be an average of about 3 stops, 3 schools. There's going to be 3 schools before they, use up their eligibility. It's probably going to be the norm. Well, one, that's disgusting because I'm waiting for the day that the starting quarterback at LSU or Arkansas, or Mississippi State or whoever goes in front of the podium and says, it's great to be here in Tuscaloosa. I mean, Fayetteville. It's great to be here in College Station. I mean, Baton Rouge. I mean, how can they even know where they are? There's no loyalty. There's no kumbaya. There's no proud to be whatever alumni university you come to. There is none of that. These guys are AAA baseball 1-year contract professionals. They're not making as much as the NFL, but they're getting paid something. It's better than what they're getting paid at Southeastern or Nichols. It's not quite NFL. It's in between. And it's just oogie. It's just gross. I mean, the fact that these, the Citrus Bowl, a chance to win 10 games, it's just so meaningless. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter to these players. It's literally like the backups. Here we go. Kansas State, once again. I mean, we got more than 39 scholarship players, thank God. But I mean, but yet we're supposed to care. We're supposed to fly to Orlando Gordy didn't pay for it. We know that. Gordy over there today on LSU's ticket. But I mean, we're supposed to, LSU fans that are in the hotel there for a week, spending thousands of dollars. Have you been to Disney World? You know how much it is? Ice cream sandwich is $5. I mean, and I love them. So, I mean, I know the price of that. They're $5 for an ice cream sandwich. Maybe $6 this year. And it's been a few months since I've been. So it's just oogie and gross what college football has become. Nobody cares. The players don't care what school they're at. They've just got their hand out. They don't even have it's just, ugh. So when I heard that news today, it's just about an hour ago, it's just a gut punch. We've already got, three of the four starting linemen. That's not even worth it for them to play. They're going to the pros, or it's not. They don't even care. But yet we're supposed to, And oh, by the way, you're supposed to write a check, and convince them to play. Oh, gross. So anyway, you know what? I'm all NFL. I'm all in. I'm all NFL. I'm a giant Saints fan. Unfortunately, the Saints are having a horrible year and they're not going to make the playoffs. I mean, look, we know if they win the next two, Tampa Bay loses the next two, they can make the playoffs. But come on, are they really going to beat Philadelphia and Philly? Or is Tampa Bay really going to lose to Carolina? Tampa's got a horseshoe up there. You know what? Tom Brady's, it's past his prime, but the guy knows how to turn it on when he needs to. He's smart enough to take the check down, and all of a sudden move down and score touchdowns. We've seen it 2 of the last 3 weeks. It's just amazing what Tom Brady does in the fourth quarter. No business winning games, even as bad as he's playing with no weapons. He gets it done, and they're not going to lose 2 games in a row. And we're going to be talking about maybe the Saints can somehow pull a miracle and win the next 2 games. And then we're going to be talking about Mark Ingram stepping out of bounds and how on second down, not getting the first down, and maybe that would have been the difference in the season. But I'm at least all in the NFL. We know what the NFL's about. It's about getting paid, and we know the owners and the teams are about making money. That's fine. It's all on the table. There's no BS. They have contracts. They have terms. Some players get 5 years. Some players get 1 year. Everything in between. We know what it is. We get to read about it in the paper or online. We get to see what the contracts are. There's no hidden anything. In college football, they're still hiding behind this, win one for the Gipper BS and this all, hey, it's for the purple and gold. When we're the fans are the only ones that care. The players and coaches, they're in it for the moment and on to the next best thing. And it may have always been that way, but now it's even worse with the transfer portal. And the way the NIL is implemented, but the transfer portal, number one, is the worst. And unfortunately, if you're an LSU fan or you're a big time SEC fan, you feel the effects worse than if you're a fan of Northwestern State or the Nichols Colonels or Sam Houston. You feel the effects because you've got the top tier 4- and 5-star talent that have the pro chance. They have the chance to make a team in the NFL, and that's the priority. And LSU or Arkansas or Alabama is just in the way. And obviously some schools do a little better job of making people buy in or paying them off to play, whatever they got to do. But some schools do a much better job of getting players to play in these bowl games and care about them more than others. So anyway, that's the news of today, and people will be trying to figure out why. We don't know why. We put some calls in. Now, today on the show, we'll tell you who our guests are. We'll be talking to Ken Trahan down in New Orleans. We'll be talking to Kenny about the New Orleans Saints. Haven't even got to the point that yesterday, within a matter of 1 hour, there were 2 articles that came out, one through WVUE Fox, the other through NOLA.com, one talking about how Dennis Allen's going to be back next year for the New Orleans Saints, and that that they're not going to make a change after year 1. He's going to be back. And another article comes out not even an hour later, and it's the exact opposite, saying that Sean Payton is most likely, when he comes back next year, going to come back as the coach of the New Orleans Saints. So maybe Ken can shed some light on what he's hearing or what he at least thinks. I personally don't believe that Sean Payton is going to be the coach of the New Orleans Saints. I hope I'm wrong. I would love to be wrong, but I don't think that's going to happen. To me, when he stepped away because, he was going to, maybe he was burnt out and probably wanted a little better situation. Saints aren't in a good situation. They don't have a quarterback. The cap situation's bad. You got a number 1 receiver, doesn't want to be there. Like, it's not a good situation. It's a familiar situation. You can run the show, do whatever you want to do. They'll give you full control of the franchise. But it's a plug and play situation, but it's not a good situation. A good situation would be to go where there's a franchise quarterback where they give you all of that. Most people are sitting around talking about the Indianapolis job, or they're talking about the Denver job, because those jobs are available right now. They've made their coaching changes. And we know the Denver job is Russell Wilson. We know the the coach job doesn't have a franchise quarterback. But don't sleep on the fact that there might be a job out there saying, Los Angeles Chargers, Cowboys. There might be a job out there that a team's going to make the playoffs, has a franchise quarterback, and if they have a chance to get Sean Payton, they might make a change, with their coaching staff. And it might be a situation where, hey, you get called into the office and it's, hey, listen, we got a chance to get a Hall of Fame coach who's been arguably the second or third best coach in the NFL in the last 20 years. We're going to make this change. You didn't do anything wrong. We just got a chance to upgrade a guy that can take us to the Super Bowl and win it. And, oh, by the way, here's the Cardinals. Here's the Broncos. Here's the Colts. They're on the line. They want to hire you. I mean, there might be a scenario like that. It might not necessarily be a job that's open. It may be a job that's taken. But if you got a chance to get Sean Payton, why wouldn't you do that? And so I put it at super low percentage that Sean Payton is going to be the coach of the New Orleans Saints next year. I hope I am wrong. I would love to be wrong. I would love to pay off the bet I have with Tommy Krysan on Sports Shorts every Saturday morning from 10 to noon that we do. We've got a bet because he thinks Sean Payton's going to be the coach of the Saints next year, and I don't think at all. Well, yesterday there was an article came out. NOLA.com said that there's a lot of speculation he is going to be the coach, and that he's even putting together a staff right now. On the other hand, another article came out that said Dennis Allen's going to be back next year. So those were an hour apart. We'll talk to Ken Trahan coming up next. Also to 3:30, we'll go out to Orlando and talk to Jacques Doucet, who clearly has some big, the news is Kayshon Boutte not going to be playing in the bowl game as of hour and a half ago. So we'll talk to Jacques about that and just the overall experience of what the bowl week is going to look like for the LSU Tigers. Coming up at 4 o'clock, big announcement. Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame fundraiser for the ages, January 13th at Lamar Dixon Expo Center. We've got Friday night fights. It's 7 professional wrestling matches, 4 of those for title belts, and a celebrity boxing match between Ryan Maranto and Casey McKenzie. We have one of the boxers here in studio. We'll tell you who that is. We'll have them at 4 o'clock. It's going to be an awesome fundraiser. We have a lot of Hall of Famers that are going to be there as well. We'll tell you how you can get tickets to it as they're going super fast, believe it or not. And then we'll have Joel Davis will join us at 4:15 in studio. You never know what he's going to say. At 5 o'clock, Tommy Krysan will be here from 5 to 6. Derry Beckwith will join us at 5:15. John Brady at 5:30. So full show here on AFR. When we return, we'll go down to the Crescent City. We'll talk to Ken Trahan and talk my favorite topic. It's no longer LSU football. It's New Orleans Saints next on AFR.
AFR.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Thank you, Acadiana, for over 55 years of allowing Corval Toyota in Opelousas to take care of you and your automotive needs. Enjoy this holiday season with family and friends. From the Corval Toyota family to yours, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
A third of youth who grow up in foster care are homeless 18 months after aging out of care. But you can rewrite that story. Children and youth with CASA and GAL volunteers are more likely to find safe, permanent homes. Change a child's story. Become a volunteer today.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and 7 have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast office products.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big V and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
Time doesn't stop, and the world keeps spinning. Community, culture, and communications, the powerful circle that connects us together. We're creating the next evolution, a network built for every possibility, moving faster than ever before, streaming us forward into the future. And the revolution is closer than you think. RTC, ETEL, and Vision are now Rev. New name, same company.
SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-659-8080. That's 1-800-659-8080. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-659-8080. That's 1-800-659-8080.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercial.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Remind you about South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com. That's southpointvw.com. Get on by. Test drive any of their line of vehicles over at South Point. Remember, I tell you all the time, 9 different IIHS top safety picks. It's the highest safety designation a vehicle can get. It's one of the reasons I love driving my Volkswagen, is I know every time I put Drew in his car seat and I'm driving, I'm in one of the safest vehicles on the road. Erica drives a Volkswagen. Every time she leaves the house in her car, I know she's driving one of the safest vehicles on the road. And by the way, they're stylish and affordable and fun to drive. It's at South Point Volkswagen. Remember, the all-electric, first electric SUV for everyone, the Volkswagen ID4. You can make your reservation right now at southpointvw.com. It's South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction?
Welcome back, everyone, to AFR. Ronnie Rance filling in for Matt Moscona. Hope everybody's having a great holiday. Happy Kwanzaa. Just wrapped up Christmas. We got New Year's. If you're looking for something to do New Year's Eve, I'll be over at LeBear's Casino. I got a fantastic concert going on. Pants party upstairs from 11 to 1. I'll be bringing in the New Year at noon at midnight on stage, so come join me. All right, let's bring in Ken Trahan. He is the owner-operator of CrescentCitySports.com. And Kenny, hope you had a wonderful Christmas, my friend.
Sure did, Ronnie. I hope you did as well.
So, look, yesterday, boom, article comes out. New Orleans Saints are going to bring Dennis Allen back. Dennis Allen's coming back to the next year. They're not going to get rid of him year one. Only one season. Obviously, he's only won 6 games so far. But hey, a lot of they didn't say any why, but sources are saying. Jeff Duncan comes out. Sources are saying Dennis Allen back. Then all of a sudden, a few minutes later, another article comes out and says, nationally, Sean Payton is going to be coaching next year, and most people think that most likely it's going to be in New Orleans. So the question becomes, which is it? What are you buying?
Well, I'd buy either one. I've been saying for 5 months that this was always a possibility, that being that Sean Payton could come back if you had a train wreck. Now, this hasn't been a train wreck. It's been an accident of sorts, but not a train wreck, right? So kind of in between, and maybe how they finish has something to do with it. Of course, the bigger question is, why would Sean want to come back? Well, there's a few reasons for that. Number one, it's not a total rebuild. You've got some young pieces in place that are pretty good. You don't have the quarterback, obviously, and that's a big if, and you don't have a number one draft pick, and that's a big issue as well. At the same time, there's unbelievable familiarity. There's complete control issues here, which he had previously and would probably have even more of again. And last but not least, he's still under contract here. So all those things would point to the fact that if you were looking to make a change, why would you look anywhere else? I mean, it's obvious, but the question is, are they really looking to make a change? You've been around this long enough and understand how this business works. When things pop nationally, it's because somebody's feeding them that information. You know that. And clearly, when you have legitimate entities reporting such things, then obviously you have to put some degree of weight in it. Now, when you have the vagary of sources, then that becomes a little bit disconcerting, but at the same time, that's the nature of the business. You got to protect where you're getting the information from. So I can see either one being true. This organization has been very loyal and fair-minded. So if Dennis Allen can win, say, one of these next 2 games, yeah, I think there's a reasonable to good chance he'll return and probably deserves the opportunity to do so. If they lose the last 2 games and finish, say, tied for last in a bad division, well, certainly you might want to reevaluate. But more than anything else, at the end of the day, if you're the New Orleans Saints and you think you can get Sean Payton back after just basically getting a year's vacation, do you think that's a better option than what you have now?
Yeah, no question that's a better option. I think everybody would agree with that. And you know, so if you got, it's very rare that you get rid of a coach in the very first year. We've seen it happen twice in the last 2 years. I understand that with Urban Meyer last year in Jacksonville and then what the Broncos did this week, but it's still very rare. And as to your point, there's a good chance they're going to beat the Panthers potentially in that final game. And so, you mean, 7 wins, 7 and 9. I mean, well, 7 and 10. I mean, yeah, definitely a disappointing year. Over under in Vegas was 8.5 wins for the Saints, but at the same time, not a disastrous year. And of course, if you're Dennis Allen, you can go in the office and say, "Look, this guy was hurt, that guy was hurt. Jameis, whatever." You've got excuses if you want it. That Ingram stepped out of bounds, whatever. But
yeah,
but the bottom line is that if you have a chance to get Sean Payton, you get him back. And look, would you just slide Dennis Allen into the defensive coordinator spot? Or would that just be too weird?
I would probably think that would not happen if Payton would return. So, look, I still think the odds of Sean returning are underwhelming. I don't think it's likely. I think it's more likely that he doesn't, but it's still a possibility. The bottom line is there's going to be a huge demand for him. The question is it the right job? Because let's say you look and evaluate the situation right now and you say Arizona, Denver, not so much. Carolina, definitely not. You look at the jobs that are out there and available, should the Raiders job come available? I don't think so. I mean, they just mentioned their quarterback. So, look, the jobs that he would want that would clearly better himself right now are not likely to come available. That doesn't mean they won't. The Dolphins are going through a little bit of a collapse of sorts. The Chargers are playing pretty well. And then, of course, the Cowboys, well, they're playing very well. But anything less than something winnable in the playoffs would probably put Mike McCarthy in jeopardy there. Look, those are the jobs that would certainly entice him more than anything else, that at least would have the possibility of coming open. Now, some people have mentioned, well, the Rams, maybe Sean McVay decides he's going to get out of coaching young and get into television or something. But then again, is that a place you want to go? Aaron Donald's aging, your quarterback's aging, you had a terrible year and so forth. So anyway, I think in the case of Sean Payton, if he really wants to coach next year, and by all accounts he does, then he has to evaluate what those circumstances are. And if it's one of those jobs I just mentioned, why not New Orleans? If it's one of the other jobs that I mentioned in the second wave, then certainly that would be a better option. And, of course, where the Saints are concerned, he would be the gift they kept on giving because you would get some compensation that would be substantial.
We're visiting with Ken Trahan, is the owner-operator of CrescentCitySports.com. One of the other parts to this, Sean Payton potentially coming back to the New Orleans Saints article that came out yesterday, was the part about Tom Brady. About Tom Brady could possibly, be a package deal. These guys, obviously we know that there was talk of them going to Miami last year, and that deal didn't happen. And we know that the Raiders, there was talk behind the scenes about trying to get Tom to Vegas. Are you buying that as a possible scenario?
That's plausible. I mean, look, Brady's not played very well this year. His team's not done very well. They've been very lucky, frankly. And the other part of that is simple. Sean Payton and Tom Brady share the same agent. Mm-hmm. There's a relationship there. And there's another part of that exists too. And again, this is sourcing. I can't possibly go out of the realm and tell you where it came from, but I know it's true that had Drew Brees retired after the 2019 season, in all likelihood, Tom Brady would have been the Saints quarterback in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And that is something that I'm aware of, okay? And again, they share the same agent. What happened after 2019 was initially Drew Brees thought he might retire and kind of indicated that, but then a month later said, no, I'm coming back. And that of course, begat what we saw with Tampa Bay getting Brady and the Saints losing to Tampa Bay and Brady in the playoffs after beating him in the regular season a couple of times. So, no, I can certainly see that being the case. The question is it not only plausible, but is it something that would be beneficial given Brady's age and the fact that he hasn't played very well overall this year? You take away 2-minute drills, and it's not been very good at all. And now his offensive line's been in shambles. They do have some pretty good wide receivers. He doesn't have Gronkowski. All that comes into play. But last but not least, where the Saints are concerned, basically what you're looking at from that scenario is a one-year bridge to get to the next solution at quarterback, because right now they don't have a first-round pick, at least for the coming year.
Do you have any insight or anything you can share as to why Jameis Winston's not getting a chance with the Saints? Because it's strange to me, being that, I think we all don't real. Andy Dalton's not the future of the Saints. You have a 2-year deal with Winston. What went wrong here? Why wouldn't they give him the shot for a few games?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I can possibly conclude is they didn't like what they saw, and we're not inside the doors.
Yeah,
at least not when it matters. And the team and how the team feels and what they perceive of their leader certainly comes into play here. Jameis Winston's been nothing but a good guy. He's handled himself very well. But the conflicting messaging is, I think, what was really the problem, at least from my perspective. First, it was said that, he was a healthy scratch. Then it was said that he wasn't healthy. It wouldn't be all season long. And then, of course, it was said again that, no, Andy Dalton's just our choice and the guy we want, and he's not part of the problem. He's part of the solution. So the messaging, to me, has been the issue. And let's make one thing perfectly clear. Andy Dalton has not been the problem. Coach Allen is right about that. He's played commendable, solid football. He's been in the upper echelon in terms of percentage completion on the year, in terms of quarterback rating. Ultimately, they haven't scored enough points. But that's not all on him. That's on penalties and turnovers to a large degree, and supporting cast. At the same time, the second part of the statement that was made is certainly not applicable in my mind. Andy Dalton is not part of the problem, but he is not part of the solution. If you're thinking he's part of the solution long term, then you're simply not being realistic about a team that wants to contend for a championship. And that's not a knock on Andy at all. Andy's still a solid quarterback in the NFL, but you signed him to be a backup. And you signed Winston to 2 years, essentially, to be your starter and to give him a chance to show what he can do. So the answer to the question is complicated. My thinking is at this point in time, they simply think the other guy's a better option for them. I mean, that's all you can conclude.
Right.
Would Sean Payton or someone else feel differently? I don't know the answer to that either. We all know that Winston had 14 touchdowns, 3 interceptions when he played last year. They were 5-2. Then he started the sixth win and got hurt. And then we didn't see him again until this year. And clearly he wasn't anywhere near 100% with 3 different injuries to deal with. And I still think that's the case. So I guess my point is, more than anything else, the messaging was the issue. If he's hurt, just say he's hurt. And, we're starting Andy, and there you go.
Right.
But say, well, no, he's a healthy scratch, and then come back a few weeks later, no, he's hurt, he won't be healthy all year. And then they say, no, Andy's not part of the problem, he's part of the solution. Okay. Well, which is it? You got to believe that 2 out of 3 ain't bad, and it's probably just a situation where they're telling you we think Andy's the better option.
It's a strange deal. What we do know is that whether it's Andy Dalton or whether it's Jameis Winston, Saints do not have their quarterback of the future, and they don't have a first round pick, and so it's gonna be a grind unless they pull off this Sean Payton, Tom Brady for a year type thing that got reported yesterday by NOLA.com. All right, Ken, thank you, buddy, for the time. I appreciate it very, very much.
Always a pleasure, Ronnie. Happy New Year to you and yours.
All right, there's Ken Trahan, owner-operator of CrescentCitySports.com. He's tapped in, also the president of the New Orleans Saints Hall of Fame, so knows what's going on in that building. We'll step aside. When we come back on AFR, we'll travel to Orlando. We'll talk to Jacques Doucet right after this.
AFR.
Love telling you about River City's 1 hour air. 752-0001. 752-0001. Love telling you about River City's 1 hour air because I love telling you about great companies that treat people right. That's River City's 1 hour air. They make you feel valued and they make you feel comfortable. When you schedule service with River City's 1 hour air, when technicians come into the house, you get a phone call, an email, and a text message alerting you the technician's on the way. You get a text message with a picture, a photo, name, and reviews of that technician who's coming to your house. They take the time to explain everything. They're very thorough. They have equipment on the truck because they're so big on continuing education. They have equipment on the truck other companies don't even own, never even heard of. River City's 1 hour air. Nights, holidays, weekends, they'll always come out. They'll never charge you extra. River City's 1 hour air. Got a problem with your home central AC? Call River City's 1 hour air. 752-0001.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $10,000 off MSRP on all new 2022 Black Widow Jeep Gladiators in stock. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal, supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are Louisiana loyal. Always.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret, the best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Remind you about GMFS Mortgage, GMFSmortgage.com. Changing lives since 1999. Home buy, refi, construction loans. You know where to find them. GMFSmortgage.com. Hey, look, I know interest rates have been such a huge talking point. As, you know, in recent months, we've seen rates tick up from their insane all-time lows in the last couple of years. But rates are still great right now. In an historical perspective, rates are fantastic. Even if you're looking right now thinking, man, I'll wait till the market goes down. There's so many options you have. Maybe if you're still anticipating rates going up, you get in now before rates go up, and when the market corrects, you refi. That's just an example of something you could do, but my highest recommendation is if you're thinking about owning a home, stop renting, start building equity, build wealth. Talk with a local loan officer at GMFS Mortgage. Learn more online at gmfsmortgage.com.
Welcome back, everyone. AFR, Ronnie Rance sitting in the chair, filling in for Matt Moscona, who's on vacation this week. Last segment, special thanks to Ken Trahan, who joined us. We talked about the two articles that came out yesterday. One saying Dennis Allen's going to be back next year. The other saying the sources are Sean Payton and maybe even Tom Brady might be coming to the Saints next year. Dustin Blanchard inside the chat on YouTube on Watch 104.5 said, Brady at 46 for one season? No thanks. Don't delay the impending rebuild. Brady is clearly not the future. That's not a. And then another guy says Brady is just basically Andy Dalton at this point in his career for another year. Not both viable points, but hey, it'll get more people in the stands and more interest in the Saints next year with Tom Brady. And regardless of how he played this year, he's still better than what the Saints have, at least for next season. He clearly can win in the fourth quarter. They should just go 2-minute offense all the time if you're in Tampa. Let's go right now out to Orlando. Jacques Doucet joining us. JD, do we have any like Epcot in our future? Do we have any, Disney World, a little Universal? I mean, is it all business or we got a little play?
Well, one thing that we can shoot here tomorrow is the team's going to a local Topgolf. I guess we could do that in Baton Rouge too, but we can go out and do that. They went to Universal today. I tell you what, though, where we're staying, anywhere you walk or move around, I mean, it's sunshine, it's palm trees, it's nice restaurants, it's nice bars and everything. So you really can't go wrong. So I am enjoying it so far.
Where are you staying at the Team Hotel with the team?
No, I'm staying at the Rosen. The Rosen is the media hotel, and the team is staying over by SeaWorld.
Gotcha.
So got their team arrival yesterday when they showed up.
I tell you, I went to Universal a year and a half or so ago. The Harry Potter section is amazing. Like, and I didn't even see all the movies. Like, I saw the first couple. But like at Universal, there's two different theme parks, and they had like a Harry Potter section in both theme parks. I'm telling you, it's like you're in the movie. Like, I feel like I'm walking down the street. I mean, at the wand shop, they've got it's amazing. It literally makes it look exactly like the movie. Pretty cool stuff. I would recommend you, JD, if you get it like 3 hours, run over there and go check it out. It's worth it. Just put it on the WAFB card.
I definitely want to do it, Ronnie. Definitely don't want to just do all work, although, there's never like any slow time at Disney, but I think this is the worst time in terms of you get on if you get on an elevator, you might hear 2 or 3 different languages being spoken. So that's how crowded they are.
That's true. Well, one of the, just an easy Wednesday afternoon turned into Kayshon Boutte not playing in the game this week. Kind of took everybody by surprise. We thought he was all, Team Brian Kelly, Team LSU, Team Jaden Daniels a few weeks ago. Here comes this, release all fancied up. Jason Fearman on the graphics, and all of a sudden, he's saying all that he's coming back next year, not going pro. That kind of surprised everybody, including myself, who thought he would go pro. But yet here we are. Citrus Bowl doesn't mean anything. I mean, he's, according to sources that I talked to, he's healthy. It's just a decision that he's just going to focus and work on next year. Really?
Okay. Well, it's a talk show, so this isn't official reporting, so we're speculating. What about academics? Did academics play a role in this? Is he academically ineligible? Because perhaps he thought that he was tapping out after 3 years and changed his mind. And, I didn't take care of my grades, and they're not good. I mean, I'm not sure.
That popped in my head, Jocko, right away. But there's been no speculation, no hint, no anything about maybe grades being a problem. You oftentimes you get a little wind of certain players being in trouble about that. I mean, I suppose that is, it's one of those two, right? I mean, it's either he's ineligible and they just released it when they got on the plane today because they knew that media was going to realize, hey, where's number 7? Or he chose to the Citrus Bowl doesn't mean anything. And look, you can't blame him. He's not the only one who felt that way. There's a number of players that aren't playing in this game. Some coming back, some, obviously some going pro that could have played this game, then going pro. It's just shocking to me that that's where we're at, that a New Year's Day bowl game outside of the play, if you're not in the top 4, it's like these bowl games are meaningless.
Yeah, I hate to see it be that way. I mean, I think one of the bad things about 2019 is that some people think that that's supposed to happen every year, or that's what a quote-unquote good season is supposed to be, and we turn our nose up at anything else. I mean, this is going to be like 82, 83 degrees on game day, not going to rain, beautiful setting, got a chance to win 10 games, got a chance to move up in the final rankings, and if you're an LSU football fan, you talk about LSU football 365 days a year. Your team takes the field, 14 times total? I mean, I don't. It's no offense, Ronnie, but it's not like a midweek baseball game or something like that. I mean, I think it's you should be pumped, and they all mean something. So Nick Saban, I'll give him credit. When the playoff first started rolling around, and he was a guy that probably knew I'm going to be in a lot of playoffs, but he did voice that he was concerned about what would happen to the bowls and the bowl structure and so forth. And now with the 12-team playoff, you have to wonder that, some of these bowl games, how are they going to survive, moving forward? I don't think the Citrus Bowl is one of them. I think this will always be a good bowl game. And I do think it's a great bowl game, but, that's people are talking to players and making them make decisions. So,
well, the good news about the 12 game is that that's 4 more, that's 8 teams that right now are playing in bowl games that some players clearly don't value. So at least when you've got 12 teams versus 4, you'll have more players sticking around, hopefully valuing those games, those playoff games. And so, but I agree that the divide will probably grow even bigger. But, if you're not in one of those top 12 teams playing in one of those top bowls, then it's really a drop down between do I care or not. And it's just disappointing because look, when I came out of high school, I was a guy a million years ago that was recruited to play football and baseball, and I loved both. I mean, high school football games for me personally were more fun than anything I ever did in sports, counting college baseball. I loved it, but I also was smart enough. I went down, I wrote the pros and cons for baseball and the pros and cons for football, and this was again 30 plus years ago. And one of the cons was I was doing the math. Okay, let's say I played tight end at LSU. All right, I was like, okay, I'm going to redshirt. I'm going to play behind Harold Bishop, who's an NFL talent. I'm going to have to sit another year. Like I did the math and I counted how many snaps am I going to play over the course of a 4-year, 5-year career? How much time and everything? And I was like, in my mind, I'd rather go play baseball. It was more fun. I enjoyed the practice in the locker room more. It was just more enjoyable on a year-round basis but the football games are next level as far as juice and excitement. And I look at these players and I think they're, Allie Gay, where you going? Like, what's one more? Why can't you play one more? Because you're only going to play what? I mean, what are we talking about? You're not even going to play every snap on defense. You're going to play 30 snaps? Like, what are we talking about? Why is that such a horrible thing? And aren't you supposed to love football? And that's what we're getting into. Like, it's all about the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. These kids are committing, whether it be football or other sports, at 15 years old to colleges, 15, 16-year-old verbal commitment. So therefore, they're just looking ahead, don't care about high school. Then when they get to college, can't wait to get to the pros and leave early. It's like, when is the actual playing happening? When is Kayshon Boutte actually going to play and be a dominant player and score touchdowns and be the alpha male? Like, we're just going to go back into the archives and look at tapes from years ago? Like, I don't get it. The desire for the next thing instead of enjoying what you have and playing football in front of 80,000 people, 50,000 people on a New Year's Day. That's supposed to be an awesome thing, but it's not anymore.
Well, I agree with you. I mean, it was kind of the movie Rudy, and just imagine LSU football. I would give anything to run out of that tunnel, right? I would give anything to put on the jersey, the helmet, and run out of Tiger Stadium on a Saturday night, right? And these days, you might just get a shrug and a yeah, so what type look because of the NIL and other things that have popped in. And I mean, and this won't change my opinion of Jeray Jenkins. I love Jeray Jenkins, probably one of the top players I've ever covered. I was a bit surprised when he didn't decide he wasn't going to play in this bowl game. I was like, why, Jeray? Come on, man, come play one more. What? I think a lot of them, it's just about they just feel like they've got to get a jump on the calendar and they've got to go to Arizona or Florida and start training and try to get their speeds or whatever down for the combines coming up. So I guess that goes with it. And from a team standpoint, it really, if you're LSU and people look at the schedule and they see the green W's are wins and the red L's are losses, you don't want to have 3 red L's going into the offseason. I think it's important for them to win this game, because if you don't, then you get people saying, oh, beating Alabama, that was a fluke. You guys crashed at the end and blah, blah, blah. If you win this game and you win it convincingly like you're supposed to, then you kind of attach it to the Alabama game and all the other wins in the recruiting class and the transfers. And you say, okay, we're heading in the right direction. And so I've seen it work both ways. I mean, when LSU trucks Texas Tech in the Texas Bowl and Leonard Fournette makes them look like kids, that's a great way to end the year. But did it help LSU against Wisconsin in the season opener a few months or 7 months, 8 months later? No. So it does carry positive feelings and momentum into the offseason. It gives you a chance to hold up a trophy and take a picture and hang it in your office. But, what does it mean towards the next year? I guess people can debate that.
I'm surprised in the day of NIL that a Jeray Jenkins doesn't say, hey, look, I'm thinking about not playing. Can you get me $10,000? I'll stick around and play. Or 20, whatever. Throw out a number. I'm surprised those conversations don't happen. Like Ali Gay, hey, listen, I'm thinking about not playing. I'm gonna go work out. But hey, if you make it worth my while, I'll stick around for the bowl game. Does that not happen? I thought that's what NIL was all about. That surprises me that more and more, at least right now, more and more players aren't sticking around for a paycheck. Hey, I'll play in the bowl game. You give me $50,000.
The positive is it'll be a drastic improvement from the Texas Bowl of last year, in which you've got people in the 2 deep that you've never heard of. I mean, they've lost some guys, yes, but it won't be a bare bones LSU team playing in this game.
Jacques, thanks, man. Enjoy Orlando, and hope you get by Universal or Disney while you're there.
Good deal, Ronnie. You coming or no?
No, I'm not. I'm actually going to be at LeBear's on New Year's Eve, and then got some family stuff. So I'm going to be here watching.
Good deal, brother.
Much like the other Tigers, I'm opting out of the bowl game. All right, Jacques Doucet of WAFB, appreciate the time. And we'll take a break. We'll come back, wrap up hour number 1 next on AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. As we move toward the new year, of course, Rouse's is a great option for everything you need in and around the new year for that gathering or just for your groceries every single day. Get to Rouse's and go to rouses.com. You can learn about their delivery and pickup options there at rouses.com. It's super easy. Or download the Rouse's app. You can go select your items. Your personal shopper will go pick them out for you. You pull up into any Rouse's location, of course, the designated location, and your shopper will bring the items out to your car, so you don't even have to get out the car. On days when it's either freezing cold or raining, that's super handy. And remember, they also have a delivery option as well, so if you don't even want to get in your car or get out, Rouse's takes care of you there as well. It's at Rouse's. Rouses.com, Rouses.com, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Locations all over the place. Get to Rouse's. Rouse's, this feels like home.
Every business is different, but B1 Bank knows that every business owner has similar needs. From streamlining accounts receivables to maintaining access to working capital, a trusted bank is your best asset for staying on top of day-to-day finances and planning for future business growth. At B1 Bank, I know I have access to commercial banking experts who care about the needs of my business and can guide me to accomplish my goals. B1 Bank knows that managing your business isn't simple, but they can help you make it uncomplicated.
Thank you, Acadiana, for over 55 years of allowing Corvell Toyota in Opelousas to take care of you and your automotive needs. Enjoy this holiday season with family and friends. From the Corvell Toyota family to yours, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
We get it done with strength, commitment, dedication, grit. We get it done with passion for our fans and love for our community. We are the Tigers. Get it done.
Let the values of the purple and gold be in your starting lineup this season. And as always, get it done.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Light beer shouldn't taste like water. Miller Lite has more.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Ronnie Rance filling in for Matt Moscona. Special thanks to Ken Trahan, who joined us in the first segment, and then Jacques Doucet over at Orlando, obviously with the big news of the day that Butte is not going to play. Keyshawn not on the plane today, not playing in the bowl game. Release came out from LSU. LSU basketball tonight, and we'll talk to John Brady at 5:30. We'll talk to him. But LSU basketball tonight is a 4-point dog at home. Arkansas 11-1, LSU 11-1. Arkansas ranked as high as 9 in one of the polls, 10 in the other. 4-point favorite. And I'll tell you, I really like the Hogs in this one. LSU has gone 0-3 against the spread in the last. I mean, they were a favorite the last three, didn't cover the last 3 games against terrible teams. Arkansas comes in a good team, and they only are a 4-point dog. We're going to find out a lot about this LSU basketball team. I'm not buying them. I think they've hit a cupcake schedule, but that's going to be a good one. We'll talk to John Brady about that plenty. And at 5:30. Coming up next, we'll talk to Ryan Maranto, who's in studio. We got one of the boxers in the Friday the 13th night fights benefiting the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame. You're not going to want to miss it. That's coming up next on AFR.
AFR.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside off the bench, anytime. Hunt Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further. like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
Businesses and their workers, and launching innovative new initiatives. But we cannot do this work alone. We hope you would join us in celebrating our great state and elevating Louisiana's position in America. Together, we can be Louisiana Loyal. Learn more at lwcc.com/Louisiana Loyal.
If you've been injured, it doesn't matter if you were hit by a big truck, a smart car, or anything in between. I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA 21-12671. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Find advice for both daily and traditional leagues, including which players to start and sit, with the NFL Fantasy Forecast. Saturday mornings at 8 on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. WNXX, Jackson, KNXX, Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge. Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
Let's ride.
Welcome back, everyone. Hour number 2 of AFR. Ronnie Rance filling in for Matt Moscona out this week. We've got a big hour for you. We've got special guests coming up. One of our fighters that are participating in the Friday night Fight Nights benefit in the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame. We also have Joel Davis will be in studio with us at 4:15. 5 o'clock coming up, TK, Tommy Christian will join us hour number 3. Derry Beckwith will join us, and Coach John Brady will be a special guest coming up at 5:30. But, when I wear many hats, right? I've got the Baton Rouge Rougarou cap on right now, a summer college baseball team that plays each summer, June and July here in Baton Rouge in the Texas Collegiate League. But my day in and day out hat is the CEO president of Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame. And, of course, every summer we have the big Hall of Fame induction ceremony. This year we got Eli Manning, Paul Maneri, Matt Forte, many others that are getting inducted this July with all kind of great events. So my job is to fundraise and put on events, and we do golf tournaments, we do auctions, we do all sorts of things. Well, this one kind of just fell in our lap, and it is going to be one of the more fun events that we've done for the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame. It's coming up Friday the 13th. It's called Fight Nights. It's going to be taking place at the Lamar Dixon Expo Center. And here's a little preview, a little 1-minute commercial on the event, and then we're going to tell you all about it. We got a special guest in the studio. The Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame presents Friday the 13th Night Fights. 7 pro wrestling matches January 13th at the Lamar Dixon Expo Center, and 1 celebrity boxing match for the ages. Pro Wrestling 225 and Gulf States Wrestling will feature 7 matches, 4 of which will be for championship belts. All the proceeds to benefit the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame Foundation, Dreams Come True, and St. Jude. Get your tickets now because the main event, Glitz vs. Grits, will take place immediately following the wrestling, featuring Casey the Rougarou McKenzie. From Back Bruley, no career wins, but no career losses. And he will take on Ryan, the Pied Piper of Partying Maranto. He's never won a fight. He's never lost an after party. Get your tickets now. The Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame presents Glitz vs. Grits, January 13th. Get your tickets at lasportshall.com. That's lasportshall.com. And special thanks to the following sponsors. Special thanks, of course, to all of our great sponsors that are helping us with the event, Raising Cane's and Walk-Ons and Jerry Lane and Relief Windows, you name it, especially Gordon McKernan and the gang as well. We've got a fantastic event. Now, here's the thing. If I grew up in the day and age of wrestling, I was a Mid-South wrestling fan, JYD, the Junkyard Dog, Hacksaw Jim Duggan. I mean, I'm old school. I'm 50. So this was more in the 80s. Of course, when you got into the 90s, Hulk Hogan and all that sort of took over. That's kind of when I started kind of waning off, got a little older, wasn't into it as much. But this is mixing both of my loves, which is raising money for Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame. We're doing these we've got 7 professional wrestling matches, 4 of them for championship title belts that are going to be going on. And with Deep South Wrestling and Pro Wrestling 225, 2 great organizations that do an awesome job. But the finale is going to be Ryan Maranto versus Casey McKenzie. And we've got Ryan, the Pod Piper of Party in Maranto, in studio with us. And for those that can watch it on YouTube, yes, that is a sequin purple jacket you have on. And it's pretty standard, right? I mean, we rock a sequin jacket, 2-3 days a week?
No, I mean, this is a typical Friday night, Saturday night out in Baton Rouge for Ryan Maranto, Obviously like to stand out in the crowd, but I love to make people laugh, have a good time, and just be that guy, be the fun one of the group.
So over under, how many sequin jackets are in the closet of Ryan the Pod Piper, Party Maranto? 30?
I mean, we're north of 30, 30 to 50, somewhere in that number.
And then the shoes, which you can't show you, but the custom shoes, you get them from somewhere. A bunch of kids over in Asia make them, but they're really awesome. They're all sequined up, whatever. Yeah. You got tons of shoes to match. So you are a big supporter of St. Jude, and I know a portion of the proceeds we're donating to St. Jude's Children's Hospital.
Sure.
Obviously that's a charity that's near and dear to your heart. I mean, you have a story, right? When you were 8 years old.
Exactly right. So when I was 8 years old, I was diagnosed with ALL leukemia, went to St. Jude Hospital. I have been now in remission for 28 years. Which is a huge milestone for me. But, I like to spread a message of beacon and hope to other kids that are going through the same debilitating illness that I did, that there is light at the end of the tunnel. I'm proof of that each and every day. And so I just live life to the fullest, and that's just what I'm all about,
right. But you got a big personality. Look at the jacket, look at the sunglasses. We know big personality. He's out there. But go ahead and put these headphones on because I got a little special guest that's going to join in with us right now. So here's the thing, is that there's another guy in town, Casey McKenzie, who, in a different way, but I mean, in the same way, he's kind of a party guy. He's always backstage, VIP. How did he get on the sidelines at LSU? I don't know. He's that guy, just like you are. But except instead of going with the sequin jackets, he's more of a coach's pullover, shorts kind of guy, okay? Right. Different styles, very similar ways. So joining us right now is Casey the Rougarou McKenzie on the line. Casey, can you hear me?
Hey, Ronnie. How you doing, brother?
What's up, buddy? I mean, don't be so excited. So right now we've got Casey, who's going to be fighting for a good cause. He's raising money for Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame. Also, Dreams Come True, an outfit that he's. But Casey grew up a little different than you, Ryan. He grew up in the backwoods of Back Bruley, rough neighborhood of Back Bruley over there. Fought a lot growing up. You didn't fight much at all.
That's right.
But yet we're putting you two guys in the ring. For those that want to know why, tune into the documentary coming out next week. We're going to have a documentary next week on social media that will explain that. But, Casey, neither one of you guys have ever been in a fight. What are you doing right now to prepare for this event on Friday the 13th? I mean, what kind of training are we doing?
I just stepped out. I have just a minute or so. Apparently you and Ryan are having a good time in the studio. But, I'm with Travis Sweet Feet Scott. We're actually working out right now over here next to Traction. And we just really pushing the cardio, working on how we figure out Ryan's game plan. I'm really not sure what he's going to wear is the interesting thing, but just training every day, Ronnie.
Well, I mean, here's the thing, Casey. I wanted to have you in studio. Gordy wouldn't allow it. Yeah, he wouldn't allow you in the building. So that was, that's you got to take that up with him. But so Ryan, you've never boxed in your life. Casey McKenzie's a guy who's about 40, 50 pounds heavier than you are, so he has a size advantage.
Sure.
What are you going to do to offset that in a 3-round fight?
Sure. So just like Casey, is working out with this Travis Scott guy, well-known boxer in town, and I'm preparing as equally as Casey is. I'm taking our fight very
Who's
serious.
Who's your trainer?
And Gabe Miller is my trainer, the owner of the UFC Fight Gym in Baton Rouge.
Never
Gabe,
heard of it.
Never heard of him. Okay.
Never heard of it. You must
Don't let him get under your skin.
No, look, Casey. I mean, I'm ready for battle, just like you, buddy. So look, it's all in good fun, but at the end of the day, there is going to be a winner declared, and January 13th. You guys do not want to miss it. Casey McKenzie, he's working out as we speak. I hear I am in studio.
So Ryan, Ryan's taking this thing. Hey, we're all gonna have a lot of fun, Casey, on Friday the 13th, Friday the 13th. Obviously we got the 7 wrestling matches. We also have the main event, you and him. But I mean, it's at the end of the day, there's 2 guys in a ring with boxing gloves.
Yeah, I don't see the fun aspect in any of this. I see where Ryan's coming from, and I guess that's the angle he wants to take. But yeah, when the bell goes off, he better strap it up.
I mean,
touche, my friend. I will be ready.
So he's going to have his glitter on, and you're going to try to knock the glitter out of him, I guess.
No, that's going to happen. Yeah, it'll be quick. It'll be. I'm predicting first round. I heard Jimmy give some numbers and Hannah-Griff. I think they'll probably gives out some lines later on, but I do see it ending pretty much in the first 30 seconds.
All right. Well, Casey, the Rougarou McKenzie against Ryan the Pied Piper Party in Maranto. You can get your tickets at lasportshall.com, lasportshall.com.
And look, I'll leave it on this note. I mean, Casey just, pretty much just said that this is going to be over in the first 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, just wait till the 3rd round, ladies and gentlemen. Just wait till the 3rd round.
Well, right? I don't think either one of y'all make it to the 3rd round. That's more likely. All right, Ryan, thanks so much, man, for joining us.
Thank
Casey,
you guys.
Good luck. Get back to your training with Travis Scott, the boxer, not the rapper. And we will see everybody on January the 13th. Get your tickets at lasportshall.com, a great fundraiser for the Hall of Fame. And it's fun for the whole family. We've got 7 pro wrestling events going on. Special thanks to all of our great sponsors, particularly Raising Cane's and Walk-Ons. They're the title sponsor of the Celebrity Boxing Match. We'll let you get back to training, Mr. Maranto.
Let's go.
We'll take a break. We come back. Joel Davis, a guy who knows a lot about boxing, fought a lot as a kid. He got beat up a lot. We'll talk to Joel Davis. He's in studio for the next 45 minutes right here on AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Clegg's Nursery, 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. Siega near Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Any of the 4 locations, tell you every single day. Buy local, shop local over at Clegg's Nursery. As we head toward the new year, remember, this is the perfect time of year to plant trees and shrubs. They have a great selection of citrus trees right now over at Clegg's Nursery. So maybe you want some privacy shrubs from your neighbors. Clegg's has a great selection, great inventory, so get on by and see our friends at Clegg's Nursery. Any of the 4 locations, you know where they are all over town. They've been an institution for more than 60 years. And remember, Clegg's is partnered with True Value Hardware Store. So anything you'd find at a True Value Hardware Store, you'll also find at Clegg's Nursery. So if you're a green thumb or a do-it-yourselfer, it's one-stop shop at Clegg's Nursery. Buy local, shop local. Tell them Matt sent you to Clegg's Nursery.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Time doesn't stop, and the world keeps spinning. Community, culture, and communications, the powerful circle that connects us together. We're creating the next evolution, a network built for every possibility, moving faster than ever before, streaming us forward into the future. And the revolution is closer than you think. RTC, ATEL, and Vision are now Rev. New name, same company.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal, supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are Louisiana loyal. Always.
There's nothing better than tailgating, but it can be a lot of work.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Brought to you by DraftKings, official sports betting partner of the NBA. Look, you got so much to bet on right now. College football bowl games going on. The NBA, NFL season is in full swing, of course, as we move toward the playoffs. You can bet on all of it at the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Remember, all throughout the month of December, I've been telling you about this amazing promo from DraftKings. If you're a Pels fan, how about a no-sweat bet on every Pels game in the month of December? That's right. Make a bet on – you got to opt in, okay? So go to the app, the DraftKings app. You got to opt in, and you got to use the promo code Baton Rouge. Make a no-sweat bet. Bet any Pels game, every Pels game, all throughout the month of December. If you lose, no worries. I'll give you your money back in a free bet at the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Get engaged, y'all. So much going on right now with bowl season here, the NBA, every single night of the week. Bet like I do with the DraftKings Sportsbook app. 21 and older, physically present in Louisiana. Select purchases only. Max reward limits apply. One free bet issued based on amount of initial bet. Eligibility restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball terms. Licensee partner Golden Nugget Lake Charles. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-426-2537.
And we're back, everyone. Sports Shorts takeover here on AFR with Joel Davis. I'm Ronnie Rance, filling in for Matt Moscona. What's up, JD? How are you, buddy?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me on the show. I can't believe you were able to pull this off.
What? What do you mean pull off? What?
I mean, just me on this show in this time slot.
Yeah.
It's very strange.
Yeah.
Like there's rules here.
Yeah. Well, listen. It seems like whenever I fill in for other people, that's when I see you. You came in here on OTB a few weeks back.
Right.
We're here on AFR.
Which is another rule that we broke.
And you normally don't come on Sports Shorts in person.
No.
So,
I was right down the street for this one.
So I appreciate you.
Yeah, I'm here to help. I'm here to help.
So
you got anything good to talk about? Like sports? Or shorts?
A lot of
shorts.
We went a lot of shorts last segment with
that was
Ryan
a lot
Moretto
of shorts.
and Casey McKenzie. By the way, did you grow up a wrestling fan? Like, were you into that? Did you have a favorite wrestler?
Junkyard Dog.
JYD.
Junkyard Dog and Dusty Rhodes. I love Dusty Rhodes. I love the JYD, and I liked it when because we was in Alexandria at the time, young.
Right.
Yeah, I was.
They used to have wrestling matches like every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday, and it was always a Junkyard Dog.
Parish Coliseum.
Right. And Junkyard Dog or Dusty Rhodes would be the headliner.
Right.
And I don't know how many teeth Dusty Rhodes lost in his lifetime, but every Wednesday he lost like teeth. Like I don't know how he kept growing them back, but yeah, I mean, his teeth would fly out, and we always had great seats, and our pawpaw would take us. That was the best.
Yeah,
that was the best. We were like 8 people in the stadium.
Yeah, Lolly Griffin always tells me those stories about back in the day. Ric Flair loved the whole Rolex wearing, jet flying, all that whole persona.
Right.
Fantastic. Love
great
it.
Character. Great
character.
But
I guess and it's natural with the older you get. Sometimes you kind of wane off of it.
Yeah.
And so by the time it got to the mid '90s, I was probably, after college, I was kind of over it. But
I was probably out well before that.
But I'm appreciating it more now. I love the athleticism. I love the
don't watch it anymore.
The acting of it.
No, it's silly.
But I'm gonna go retro on Friday the 13th for night fights. Benefit Louisiana
who's
Sports
the headliner? Who's the headliner wrestler for this thing?
It's going to be
right there.
It's going to be the Gulf States Wrestling Organization and the Pro Wrestling 225 organization that are putting it on. It's going to be all the best of the best and 4 championship wrestling matches. So
I like it.
Fun for the whole family. Look, you can get in as for cheap as $15 a ticket.
Name one move that was your ending move when you're the sleeper. See, I put people in the figure 4. Like I was good. Oh, dude, I was really good at getting people suckered into getting them into the figure 4. And let me tell you something, dude. You get somebody in the figure 4, they're not getting out, and you can snap a leg. You can snap it. You can snap a leg. Oh, yeah.
That's great. All right, Joel Davis joining us. All right, so we had Ken Trahan on in hour number 1. We talked a little New Orleans Saints because yesterday was a wild day, and I know you've got some thoughts on this. Let me throw this scenario.
Do it.
Would you rather have Sean Payton as your coach next year with Tom Brady for one season as a bridge to getting to the next year where you either go get a quarterback in free agency or you draft one in the first round?
Right.
Or would you rather have Sean Payton go somewhere else, Saints get a first-round pick plus some probably, and, you're not going to have a franchise quarterback next year, but you begin the rebuild with that first-round pick.
So what first-round pick do I get to pick the first-round guy? Because I'm not picking Marcus Davenport. I mean, what was 2 first-round draft picks? So would you rather? That's how I look at it. Would you rather Sean Payton or Marcus Davenport?
Sean Payton,
of course. Or would you rather, I don't know, say Sean Payton or Lattimore or Ramczyk?
Sean Payton.
You still take Sean Payton over Lattimore? Well,
do I get both?
I mean, maybe if you get 2 first-round draft picks, or would you take Penning and Olave over Sean Payton or Sean Payton? So look at who they've drafted. If you told me I had to take Davenport, I mean, of course I'm taking Sean Payton. So I don't know. As long as that dude is coaching next year, I'll be happy because one way we're getting picks, or one way we're getting a coach. Right? Everybody's kind of beating on Andy Dalton right now. Andy's not the reason why this team is losing.
No, he doesn't have enough weapons, and guys have dropped tremendous amount of balls with Andy Dalton.
I mean, he's played well. He's played well enough to win. He's had 2 poo-poo games. Obviously, the one in Arizona was atrocious. You can pin that one on him as one of the reasons why they have one extra L in the loss column. He's played 12 games. 2 of them are on him. The other 10 on other guys, right? So Andy Dalton is not the reason why. Would you take Andy Dalton or Derek Carr?
Oh, Derek Carr.
Okay, Derek Carr is going to be available next year. He just got benched. So, obviously they're moving on from him. He's gonna either get cut or traded or something. There's going to be some players available. Tom Brady's one. Derek Carr, Tom Brady are both going to be available at the end of the year.
By the way, you still
Minshew.
got Jameis Winston under contract.
Jameis Winston, of course, they're going to move on from him. But Gardner Minshew, would you trade for him? I thought you should have. He's from here, dude. He's right there from Jackson, Mississippi. Why in the world didn't the Saints go? They didn't believe in him. Obviously, they didn't see what a lot of people saw. If you go back and look at all Joel Davis's history, I said we should have gotten Gardner Minshew before the Eagles got him. The dude was a baller in Jacksonville. The dude made plays. They got obviously had a once in a lifetime opportunity to get a quarterback. So Minshew was expendable. So, but they got some draft picks for him. But the Philadelphia Eagles saw something in him. The Saints, I don't even know if they even gave him a try. But he'd be amazing in New Orleans. He can move. He's very unconditional. He's not traditional quarterback. He likes to move around. Let's throw off the back foot. But the dude makes plays. And he's from Jackson, Mississippi. I mean, it just makes too much sense. But they didn't make that. But there's going to be some opportunity here to get a quarterback this offseason.
Where are you on? Because most people think that Sean Payton ideally would want to go to a situation where they have a franchise quarterback in place. That said, Russell Wilson is a franchise quarterback in place under contract for a long time.
He's broken, dude.
Do you really believe that, though? Do you believe that Russell Wilson isn't fixable?
No, he's fixable. I think that Sean Payton, if anybody can fix him, it would be Sean Payton.
Right.
But I mean, what's in Denver? I mean, that's a tough division to go deal with. You got Herbert
Chargers and
Chiefs and Mahomes in that division. Why would you want that? Tom Brady wouldn't go there. Tom Brady wouldn't touch that division with a 10-foot pole as a starting quarterback. So he's going to want to go somewhere, and Tom Brady's going to want to go somewhere that he can win a division.
You believe that Tom Brady's going to play another year?
I mean, I think that if he can get his ideals, New Orleans is a perfect fit. Look at what they've got. Great ownership. They've got players. If they can just get them off the sideline, they've got. I mean, Shaheed, bro. I mean, come on, dude. Shaheed, Olave. If Michael Thomas is able to get healthy,
maybe Michael Thomas would be motivated to have a
not
Brady
have a bad toe.
The football. Right.
I mean, I know I would be. I mean, if I'm a wide receiver and Tom Brady's had a tough year, but it started tough in the offseason, right? Remember him missing 11 practices during the middle of training camp?
And obviously we all know about his personal problems. And probably he's to blame for that. But regardless, he went through these personal off-field problems that he will by next training camp have it figured out. They'll be used to how they're going to parent, how they're going to do the kids, where they're going to live, whatever. There'll be a better understanding and a better mental situation if he chooses to go that route. I would think that if he was willing to lose his family, which if we're to believe the reports that he came back to play, Giselle didn't want him to come back to play. That led eventually to their divorce. If he was willing to give up his wife and family over playing, then I would think he's hell-bent on at least one more year, right?
Well, absolutely.
Or he'd have walked away this year.
I just don't want it to affect New Orleans long-term. Because, I mean, if they're going to keep Dennis Allen, we need to really play poorly next year to have any shot at one of these top, to Caleb Williams or one of these top, the kid from UNC, dude. I mean, the Blake kid, he's unreal. I mean, that dude can really play. He's athletic. But, you got to be bad to get a franchise quarterback or you got to get really lucky. I mean, can you believe what Brock Purdy is doing with the 49ers? Sometimes systems can help, man. When you got a good team around you, he's Mr. Irrelevant coming in and playing lights out for him. So, you got to be lucky or you got to be really bad football team and there has to be one of these top-tier quarterbacks are going to be available to you like a Caleb Williams. Do I like what he's been doing on the field with his painted fingernails and all that stuff? Does it scream franchise quarterback?
It's Oogie.
It's Oogie. But he's a baller.
He can sling it.
He's a baller.
Got the size, got the mobility, can sling it. You would hope that the maturity factor would kick in. By the way, James Fortenberry online in the YouTube chat here asked, does Joel have a real job?
Oh my God, dude! Give me a break, dude. I got more jobs than you've ever had in your life. I'm not trying to. I'm not taking a shot.
Tell James.
I got so many jobs, dude. First, this is right here, the Woodenhaven Furniture Company. Been owning that for
Government Street,
10 years.
Across from Calandra.
Been in the furniture business for over 20 now, and doing very well there.
Yeah.
By the way, also Red Zone Fundraising. Been doing that for over 11 years.
Largest high school fundraising company,
and number one rep in the state of Louisiana.
Congratulations.
Of course. 2 out of the last 3 years, and one of those years was stolen from me, so it should have been 3 of the 4.
by one of our cheating reps.
Right.
So, by the way, it took some numbers that didn't belong to him, threw them in his
Right.
pile.
You know how reps do.
Right.
By the way, Vincent Palazzo says Joel is head of sanitation at Government Taco. And no truth to that.
Is that a what?
He said you're head of sanitation at Government Taco.
I'm head of sanitation at the Wooden Haven Furniture Company.
You are
I am
that.
officially the janitor there.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing how how hard you work, how busy you are,
Too busy.
how successful you are.
So
but yet you
successful.
just refuse to hire staff at
Because
Wooden
staff
Haven.
is not
like
available.
You do it yourself.
There's nobody that's going to do it better than me, Ron. Nobody. Nobody's going to care more. Nobody's going to put the passion in it like me. And, I still deliver furniture, dude. You come to buy furniture from the Wooden Haven, I'm showing up in my
Joel
Ford F1.
shows up at your house.
In my Chevy Silverado.
Do you do it by yourself? Or
If I can.
Yeah.
I don't want to pay my cousins and my nephews.
Unbelievable.
Those little-
Unbelievable.
Although I got good nephews. Did I tell you about the beef jerky?
No, tell me, what about
Somebody
beef jerky?
bought some furniture today with beef jerky.
Wait.
Paid the
So if you
balance.
go to Wooden Haven Furniture Company, you can buy furniture
Well, he talked
on
me into
trade,
it.
on like
He talked
bring a
me
chicken.
into it.
What about a chicken? I'll give you a chicken, some eggs, and a beef jerky.
I'm not into the chickens. They make too much noise and a lot of mess, and I don't want to cook it. But
You
so
like beef
today,
jerky that much?
So today I had a good customer stop by the store. I had to work for the wife; she wasn't feeling well, so I worked the store today. Got a lot done, by the way. And Chad comes in, and Chad's from he's a professional welder, dude. He's been doing this 100 years. Owns his own company, probably around my age, maybe a little older. Lives in the woods, right? Pulls up in a flatbed. Comes in, found a big old cabinet he wants for his wife to surprise her. His credit card limit is like $1,100 or $2,000. All he had was $1,100 on his credit card available. He's like, in the cabinet is $1,200. Is my wife listening? I gotta maybe show my wife because she doesn't know this yet. Okay. Anyway, so I said, and he goes, and I said it's $1,200, Chad. And he's like, well, all I got is $1,100 on the credit card available. I said, bruh. He's like, listen, I got some Bergerons in the car. I got some. I said, well, what kind of Bergerons? He's like, well, I just came over from Port Allen. He's like, I got some Bergerons in the car. I got some beef jerky, and I got a steak wrap and a chicken wrap. And he's like, I'll give it all to you. He's like, I'll give it all to you if you'll pass on the 100.
Did you looked on the tag to see how much it was worth? I'm curious.
I mean,
if it
I know
added
what I
up
got
close
in
to
it.
100.
I know what I got. Oh, I didn't care. I didn't want. I was probably going to give it to him for $1,100 anyway.
By the way, a little bartering going on there, Joel. I got a little secret for you. And I told this to Buzzy Hydale, who lives in Back Bruley, where Bergeron's, of course, original over there off
Port Allen.
Lobdell.
Yeah.
And so they close at 6 o'clock, and if you go there at like 5:45,
They throwing stuff out?
5:50, and it's the end of the night, right?
Right.
So they don't want to you can't repackage the crackling and stuff. So a lot of times they'll be like, hey, hey, can I get a scoop of crackling? Yeah. And they're like, hey, you want 3 pounds of crackling? Because we're getting rid of it. And or hey, we got some boudin balls left over. You want some? And they'll give you 6 to go.
Really?
Oh,
What
yeah.
time is this?
It's if you just go at the end, in the last 15
5:30,
minutes.
5:45.
5:45. They close at 6. If you go in the last 15 minutes, oftentimes if they got leftovers, bro, they're loading you up.
Well, they should load me up for giving them this free pub.
Yeah, you should go over there and take.
By the
care
way,
of
the
it.
jerky was fantastic, spicy.
Yeah.
And whatever the steak thing was with the
Steak bites.
Well, no, is that what it is?
Yeah, with the
it's
little
wrapped in bacon. It's got cream cheese. In it.
Yeah,
Unreal.
yeah, little steak bites.
That was unreal.
Yeah,
All
little ribeye bites. All right, he's
Joel
Joel Davis. He's got lots of jobs. I know we had Burke Harriman, Harriman's
geez.
Florist. He
Oh, my
said
God, this guy.
nothing's better than getting in my car to go home to work and hear Joel Davis saying nobody works hard as he does. Burke, I mean, that's so hard. It's so
put
tough
flowers
back there.
together.
Yeah, clipping those
Ooh.
roses. Right. All right,
Is he the
take-
biggest male on the planet clipping flower stems?
It might not be anyone bigger.
I mean, he's as big as you.
Yeah.
It's like you clipping flower stems. It's absurd.
Yeah. We'll take a break. We'll be back. JD and Ronnie Rance. This is the Sports Shorts Takeover Hour on AFR.
AFR.
Take 60 seconds. Remind you about our friends at Insurance Network of Louisiana. For years, I've told you so many examples of your friends and neighbors, our listeners, who have called Insurance Network of Louisiana. This process is so easy. I don't want it to be intimidating because sometimes people think insurance, I don't know, I don't know what my coverage is. I haven't looked at it in so long. Don't be intimidated. At Insurance Network of Louisiana, the guys and gals over there are awesome, and they can walk you through the entire process. It's easy. It starts with one phone call. You call Insurance Network of Louisiana, they take a little bit of information, and then they go shop. They do all the work for you. And then they'll come back with you, and let you know if they were able to find you better coverage for less money. It's basically like this, the analogy I give. Would you hire an agent if you were an athlete that could only negotiate with one team? Or would you rather hire an agent that can negotiate the best deal among all the teams? That's Insurance Network of Louisiana. 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, anytime. Hunt Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off MSRP on a new 2022 Ford F-150, plus no payments for 90 days and 2.9% APR for 72 months. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Winter can be magical. The Mercedes-Benz Winter Event is here, and there's no better time to check out our new Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge inventory. We have the vehicles that can make your holiday extraordinary. See all the latest technological features on the newest models during our Mercedes-Benz Winter Event. Shop our best of the best award-winning dealership. Visit mbobr.com.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Always a pleasure to tell you about our friends at the Williamson Eye Center. Check them out online at williamsoneye.com. They've got locations all over the greater Baton Rouge area. On the Baton Rouge General Campus, you turn off a Bluebonnet onto Picardy, you make that right, and then right there at the stop sign, the building on the right, the first two floors, that's the Williamson Eye Center, state-of-the-art dry eye center, and it's full service. Of course, they have their state-of-the-art surgery center there where you can have your LASIK or whatever surgical procedure you're having, but they have your standard annual eye exam as well at the Williamson Eye Center. Learn more at williamsoneye.com. The thing I tell you every day is take the advice that I was given and change your life. To give yourself the gift of sight is absolutely incredible. If you're someone like me who spent your life with contacts or glasses, there is a way to be done with it forever. WilliamsonEye.com. Go see Dr. Blake Williamson for that free consultation. 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com for the Williamson Eye Center.
Boy, who knew that a 7-5 season would pay so well. That's what Joey McGuire did, the head coach of Texas Tech. In his debut year, he goes 7-5. Now, of those 7, Joel Davis, wins over Oklahoma and Texas, first time that's happened in program history. Texas Tech rewards him with a 6-year deal.
Wow.
$26.6 million contract. That's $1 million a year jump for him.
Not
7-5.
Not bad.
Get you a 6-year
deal. I think
amazing.
it's more along the lines of who he beat.
Right.
That's a big deal. Helps in recruiting when you beating the big dogs.
Toll Davis with us. You can hear him on Sports Church Radio Saturday mornings along with myself, Tommy Krysan, Hunter McCann. Most Saturdays, 3 out of 4 on Sports Church Radio from 10 until noon every Saturday morning right here on 104.5. He's also the owner of Woodhaven Furniture Company, where we just found out today you can barter for furniture. You don't
just
need
happened
actual
one day.
money.
Happened one time. It was a one-time deal. Knew the guy.
Craig Schilling asked, what can he get for a bag of baseballs and 10 bats? What would he get for a bag of?
Are the bats signed? Are they like little league
bats?
Right. There's
those Marucci
variables
bats
here.
are $350 or whatever.
Right. There's variables. I mean, you come into the house with a Dale Murphy signed bat, bro. I mean, we might have to talk.
Oh, I
know you did.
I thought of you on the Dale Murphy deal.
I didn't have time to read all that.
Sorry, so here's the deal.
I didn't have time to read all that.
Dale Murphy, if you Braves fans, obviously a legend in the 80s.
Right.
Famous for drinking milk and having multiple kids because he's from BYU.
And a big mole.
But anyway, Dale Murphy, he was the Braves before they became the Braves of the 90s, is doing a deal where you can pay, it's only like $600. It's like $600.
Yeah.
You get a ticket to a game. You get to sit in the suite with Dale Murphy.
Yeah.
He signs a couple items. You can bring like 2 items with you. Look, there's Dale right there on the screen.
Game is a long game.
You can bring 2 items that he'll sign.
See the mole?
They give you food and drink and something else. You get a picture with them and all that.
Right.
Like for a guy like you that loves Dale Murphy, I mean that seems like a Father's Day gift or something.
I'm just not there anymore with that. Like this 9 innings. What are we going to talk about for 9 innings, bro?
Well, I'm sure there's other people besides just you there.
Well, what if there's not? what if like I'm the only guy that decided to pay that for that game?
So like you feel like you would get tired of Dale Murphy?
Yeah, dude.
Rather than Dale Murphy getting tired of you?
Yeah. You know what the first question I would ask him is, why did we get rid of Chief Nakahoma? I mean, really? I mean, the Chief Nakahoma was a big deal for me, and the TP in left field was important. And I think that's something that we should have kept.
Right.
And we didn't.
Right.
Today's today, man. Today's today.
Dustin Blanchard said Dale Murphy was his favorite player as a kid.
Everybody, you were either a Cubs fan or a Braves fan.
Yeah.
Because it was on TV. When if you're in your 50s, like I was
more
TV.
of a Bob Horner guy.
I love Bob Horner.
I mean, Bob Horner looked like when he went up to the plate, and he was a great player at Arizona State. Great player.
He looked like Dusty
Bob
Rhodes.
Horner looked like he said to the bat boy, "Hey kid, hold my cig."
Right.
And he went up there with the waistband, the old waistband unis, and hit a homer.
When I think of Bob Horner, I think of a blonde perm.
Exactly.
Like that's when I think of
Ric
Glenn
Flair.
Hubbard.
Ric Flair with
he looks like Dusty
bat.
Rhodes. He looked like Dusty Rhodes playing third
right.
base. I loved Glenn Hubbard. I thought Glenn Hubbard was one of because he was kind of a little guy. What do you call little people now? Little people. He looked like a little people on second base, and I thought that was great because I thought it gave me a chance to play in the bigs one day because I was kind of an underdeveloped young man at like 11, 12, and I was like, am I ever gonna grow? And then I was like, well, he made it.
Yeah. Gene Garber,
Love
Bob
Gene Garber.
Horner, Dale Murphy.
Yeah.
That's
Bruce Benedict.
But I was a Cubs guy.
Bruce Benedict. You remember Bruce? Bruce
yeah,
was great.
absolutely.
What about Claudel Washington?
Claudel was
Loved
good.
Claudel.
Yeah, good from
Rafael
the left
Ramirez.
Side. So speaking of Braves, Fred
Yeah.
McGriff going into the Hall of Fame. He's going into the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame this year. The Crime Dog, who if you weren't a Braves fan, most famous for check your phone. Most famous for doing those commercials. The commercials. And I would say that Fred McGriff going into the Hall of Fame. What are you talking about?
Did he have his mole removed?
Dale Murphy? Did he have his mole removed?
I mean, where's his mole? Like you saw that mole.
He probably had it lasered
look at
off.
That. Look at that. It's gone.
So Joel's holding up a picture. Look, there's the mole.
The mole is gigantic. Look at that. It's gone.
But it's gone. He had it removed.
I mean, that's you don't remove things like that.
I think
that can cause major problems.
No, I think it shouldn't. Well, he probably had it removed because it was going to cause major problems. But anyway. All right, we move on. How about let's talk a little Pelicans, because I know you're passionate about the Pelicans.
I beg
You're
of
a
you.
guy who begged people on Sports Shorts Radio a year ago this time to get behind the Pellies. You saw this coming when nobody saw it coming.
First in this city. Before those guys in the morning, before this show, I was the Pellies guy. But you didn't know it because I'm only on for like 8 minutes on Saturdays. But when I was on for those 8 minutes, I told all of you, Tommy, you, whoever would listen, that if you are not on the bandwagon, if you're not going to start I've always liked between the Hornets and the Pelicans. I mean, I go way back. I've been through the struggle. I've seen the good moments. I've seen the terrible moments.
Good players come, good players leave.
Of course. And, it's torture because, they were doing the same thing to Zion. They were putting Zion in, either in L.A. or New York and telling him he was a bust, just last year. They'll never make anything. You know what, dude? This is the deepest team in the NBA right now. And right now they're in second place in the Western Conference, only behind the Nuggets, who are very good, by the way. And, they playing without Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson. They're doing this without their starters, dude.
Right.
They beat the Pacers. They were up by the Pacers. They were up 28 points the other night on the Pacers in the third quarter without Zion, B.I., Trey Murphy, Herb. He wasn't in the game. CJ played, but not a whole lot. They didn't have anybody. They had like 9 guys available for the game, and they were up by 28. Dude, this team is now. Do they have moments where you're like, God, come on, dude, get it together? But a lot of teams have, these lull moments to score and this, that, and the other. But the Pelicans are so good, dude. I don't know if they'll come in first place this year in the West, but they're going to be a top 4 team in the West, if not top 2. And they are going to win one of their series. They're probably going to make it to the Western Conference Final, just my opinion. And dude, I would not be shocked if this team is healthy in the playoffs, or gets healthy before the playoffs, where they can kind of play together, get the rotations right. There's no reason why they can't win an NBA championship this year.
There's nobody in the West, in my opinion, that is the dominant alpha male that just nobody else can handle.
Well, I mean, the Suns are still the Suns. The Suns it's hard to beat them on their floor.
Right.
The Nuggets are still. The Nuggets are real.
The Pels beat them 2 straight games at home.
True. And Booker was out on one, and he didn't play well in the other.
Booker going to be out over a month now.
I know.
For the Suns, which is not going to help them in the win. In January, getting a bunch of wins.
Well, but Brandon Ingram's been out how many weeks now? I mean, we don't know when he's coming back. Zion should be playing tonight versus the Timberwolves. They got to win tonight. They just got to keep winning. They got to win the games that they're supposed to win and split a bunch of the other games and win some of the games, that they're not supposed to win or shouldn't win on the road. Like beating the Nuggets on the road is tough. Beating the Suns on the road is tough. I don't care who you are. So they're going to win some of those games. They're going to win a lot of games this year, man. They're going to win probably 60 games this year. And, 58 to 60 games, 55 to 60 games, that's a big deal. Do you remember? Do we not remember last year?
Yeah, absolutely.
How
bad they were until
they were atrocious.
February.
They were atrocious. Anywho, I'm just pumped. They're fun to watch too. Like, a lot of the old schoolers don't like the NBA because they feel like it's a pickup game, right? They feel like it's pickup basketball. They don't really understand the game. It's not college. They like college because there's a lot of, coaching going on, right? This team is fun to watch, man, because the effort is real. The effort is unreal at the NBA level at this point in the season. The want to from Zion, the want to from an Alvarado, the want to from a Herb Jones, the want of every guy, these young, talented guys are playing so hard, and it's fun to watch on a night-to-night basis.
The thing that I say,
and it's helping me get over the Saints.
They are well. There's in my pecking order. Here's what's happening, and this is in real time. It's moving.
Right.
LSU football was always the king ding-a-ling for me.
Wow.
Okay. LSU football was always
strong.
the thing that got the juices flowing, the thing that you kind of were passionate about. Then for me, LSU baseball was second, right?
Really?
And then was Saints.
Wow.
And then the Pelicans were way down. I think maybe the Masters was ahead of the Pelicans.
Where do you put the Rougarou now with all these?
Oh, the Rougarous, everybody, it's obvious, number one.
They're number one?
But here's the thing. With the way that NIL...
Would you take a Rougarou championship over a Saints Super Bowl this year?
I'd take a Rougarou making money.
No, I didn't ask you that. I didn't ask you that.
No.
So would you take a Rougarou championship this summer, or somehow the Saints get into the playoffs?
They win the next two, and the Bucks lose the next two,
and they win the Super Bowl this year. Like wow.
I would take I would forego the Rougarou for a Saints Super Bowl this year.
You're disgusting. How do you give up on your own business like that?
I would. No.
What kind of man are you?
I would do, because I think the Saints winning the Super Bowl would be better for the psyche of the state of Louisiana.
You think the Rougarou would play better?
I think so. I think we could double it up. I think we could win without it.
Right.
No,
yeah.
But I'm saying I'm so disgusted on college football and the transfer portal and the NIL and nobody caring about bowl games and the next game and all that. Nobody just cares. Nobody
cares.
So because of that, I'm all in on the NFL. I've now replaced the NFL over LSU. Now LSU baseball's still gonna, we're up there. Right. But as far as LSU and the Saints, I'm all in on the Saints. But the Pellies are coming.
I've seen you a few games.
Pellies are coming. And here's the thing I love about the Pelicans is they play like a college team.
They do. They play
hard.
Have
10 guys. They know their roles. They're not selfish.
Nope.
They pull for each other. They're passionate. New Orleans is not a power city like Phoenix or Los Angeles or New York. Like, there's not a lot to get into outside of, basketball. Unless
you like to drink heavily.
And they talk about that. They say, look, we're all basketball. This unit is young and hungry and just all basketball. They hang out together off the court.
They're pals.
And they're buddies, and they like each other.
And you see that.
And you can feel it.
Right.
And then it's kind of like the daddy is CJ McCollum looking around, kind of keep an eye on the young bucks.
I
love that.
I said this last year, and I'll repeat myself. The CJ McCollum trade for the Pelicans is equivalent to the Drew Brees trade.
Not far off.
I mean, because Drew Brees changed everything.
The direction of the franchise.
And the culture. Mm-hmm. The culture is a big deal. Mm-hmm. He just was able to do that. It's unfortunate that CJ is as old as he is because he's not going to have the tenure that a Drew Brees will have, right? And he's also there's already dudes on this roster that are there to replace him. Dyson Daniels is already on the roster to replace the CJ. By the way, how good is that freaking dude? Holy crap. Dude, this dude's 19, dude. He can guard as good as anybody in the league already, and he's showing his ability to score. He can score at the rack. He can score behind the three-point line. Once he gets a little mid-range, dude, he'll be unstoppable. And then you're not going to want him to be on the floor if you're across from him because he's going to shut you down. Herb Jones, Dyson Daniels, even Jose Alvarado, who, by the way, at Georgia Tech was the All-ACC Defensive Player of the Year the year before last, before he came out. The defensive ability of this team is just like, you're like in handcuffs at some points when they're in the game.
He's Joel Davis. I'm Ronnie Rance. We'll step aside here on AFR. You're listening and watching Sports Shorts Radio Takeover of AFR. Coming up in the third hour, Tommy Kreisam will join us. Derry Beckwith. We'll have John Brady joining us as well. Don't go anywhere. We'll roll on right after this on AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Pluckers, Nicholson, and Bluebonnet. Dine in or carry out 24 flavors of award-winning jumbo chicken wings, ice-cold draft beer, full-service bar, and sports on TV. What more could you possibly want? How about sandwiches? Well, they've got those. What about salads? Pluckers actually has really underrated salads. Giant, gorgeous, fresh salads. You can actually eat healthy at Pluckers. Or you could just binge. Award-winning jumbo chicken wings tossed in your favorite sauce. You want to create your own menu item? Do it. They encourage the creativity. Great sides as well, like the cheese fries, the El Guapo dip, maybe the homemade blue cheese potato chips, holy macaroni, fried pickles. They got it all at Pluckers. Nicholson, just south of campus. Bluebonnet right in front of the Mall of Louisiana. The best place to watch the game, which game? Any game, is at Pluckers because you can eat wings, drink beer, and watch sports on TV. Remember, at Pluckers, if you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
There it is, the extra mile. on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
Time doesn't stop, and the world keeps spinning. Community, culture, and communications, the powerful circle that connects us together. We're creating the next evolution, a network built for every possibility, moving faster than ever before, streaming us forward into the future. And the revolution is closer than you think. RTC, ETEL, and Vision are now.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
And we're back here on AFR. Ronnie Rance, Joel Davis here with you. Final segment of the second hour. Liberty Bowl is going on right now. Kansas, the Jayhawks, the program that Les Miles built.
Yeah.
In the playoffs, 6-6. They're taking on Arkansas. They lead Arkansas.
Come on.
7-3. 8 minutes to go in the first quarter. Just start.
Oh, okay, just start.
Liberty Bowl in that one.
When did the Tigers play?
Play on next Monday at noon.
Guess where I'll be?
Is it noon or 1?
I won't be watching that game.
By the way, same time as Tulane. Tulane plays around the same time. So I mean,
I'll be in Breckenridge, Ron.
What?
I'll miss the game. Yeah, that's the second.
Whoa.
I told you that.
The tightest human being on the planet.
So expensive.
You're taking your
entire
who
family.
Else going?
The entire family.
Like you've got grown kids.
All my grown kids. I'm paying for.
What's the over/under number? 25,000. Under or under? You'll be under 25,000.
Yeah.
Over 20.
It'd be you push
around that.
Push. But here's the deal, Ron. Here's the deal. Once in a lifetime opportunity. But here's my sphincter's tightening up a little.
We got to get out in 10 seconds. We'll come back.
I got to hang out.
Yeah,
okay, go ahead.
We'll talk some. Unbelievable. This guy's spending 20,000. I can't spend 20,000 on anything other than a house. He's Joel Davis. Hour number 3. AFR next.
AFR.
We remind you about Michelli Weighing and Measurement, Michelli.com. That's where you can check them out, Michelli.com. Remember, at Michelli, they do offer ISO 17025 accreditation. You can learn more at Michelli.com and other accreditations and standard calibrations as well. Michelli.com. All of their different services and products are at the website. The website is a great virtual font of resources. So many times clients will say, oh, I didn't know you did that. So go to Michelli.com. The track system that they offer is a great asset. Track records, assets, and calibrations. It's an acronym. And what this allows you to do is track the status of the calibration of your devices. And then it also gives you a record of those calibrations at your fingertip online for free, 24/7, 365, so you can be more efficient. Michelli, weighing and measurement.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, anytime. Hunt Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal, supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are Louisiana loyal. Always.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
All right, let's say ah.
Where'd my spotlight go?
Super weird, but we can take care of it.
Get in and get better at Patient Plus.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
And we're back, everyone, for hour number 3 of After Further Review. Now, normally we don't do this, but we gotta finish the conversation we had with Joel Davis from the previous hour. Tommy Chrysant sitting in with us here for hour number 3. All right, let's go to the phone line right now, the Wooden Haven Furniture Company phone line, we'll call it, for his business. Joel, I'm in shock. We've been doing radio and television for over 10 years together. Outside of your home, you don't even spend $20,000 on a vehicle. You're taking your family this Sunday to go snow skiing, but in typical Joel Davis fashion, there's a chance you're not going to make it, right?
Oh, we're going to make it, buddy. Oh, we're going to make it. Southwest is not going to make me lose 20 G's, right? Because that's what I'm staring at. I will freaking put my entire family on my back and walk there. Obviously, I can't do that. I won't get there in time. So we're going to load up the vehicle. We're going to drive to New Orleans late Saturday night, Sunday morning, right? In the middle of the night, the plane leaves 5 a.m. Sunday morning. We're supposed to be in Denver at 10 a.m., all right? They're going to screw that up. Joel Peter Baboo is going to be leaving New Orleans, right, at whatever time they cancel the flight. If they tell me it's delayed, I don't trust them. I don't trust them. We're jumping in the Tahoe, and we're driving to Breckenridge.
Ooh. Oh,
19 hours from New Orleans.
All right, so let me ask you this. At what point are you going to make the decision, because we need some Facebook Live along on that trip. At what point are you going to make the decision to not fly, but to go ahead and drive? At what point do you pull the ripcord?
They cancel the flight. Tommy just said they canceled. Southwest canceled 2,500 flights today, dude. 2,500 flights. What the hell is going on out there?
Good luck, Joel. Good luck, my brother. I mean,
that's all right. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna be on the slopes Monday morning, no matter what.
Wow. And how much Adderall are you gonna have to take on the way
there? Dude, I'm gonna take enough Adderall just to get me to the gummy store. I got the gummy store in Denver, I heard. I can't wait.
Bingo.
All right, JD. Good luck, man. Keep us posted. We'll talk about it on Sports Shorts Radio Saturday morning with Joel. We'll get an update on his Southwest travels. There's JD.
Word.
Go by, see him over at Woodin Haven. Give him a hug. He needs one. So could you imagine being in a car with that guy for 19 hours?
I don't want to be in a car with him from here to Woodin Haven Furniture.
And that's 5 minutes.
5
Unbelievable.
blocks.
19 hours with that guy. And that's on the way there. You know, when you're fired up, it's always better on the way there. Like, you're happy. You're looking forward to it. You're talking about, hey, we're going to do the double diamond. Are we going to go green with the blue mix? What are we doing? You know, and then on the way back, when you're exhausted, you just want to sleep in your own bed. You got 19 staring you in the face. Oof.
Oh, that's tough.
Brutal. So, TK, a lot going on today. Keishawn Butte comes out today and announces that he's not going to play in the bowl game. Speculation, immediately my mind goes to, okay, is he academically ineligible? Could that be the issue? Or is he choosing to just sit out and not play because he doesn't think the bowl game's important enough? And most people seem to think it's that.
Brian Kelly said he is enrolled for the spring semester.
Right.
That would lead one to think it's not academic. Some people are starting to think that, you know, early in the year when he was kind of in the doghouse and pouting and whatnot, maybe this was told that, hey, if we go to a bowl game, you don't play. But that don't make a lot of sense. I don't know. You know, he's a selfish guy. He's not a team guy. And maybe Brian Kelly doesn't want him in Orlando. I don't know.
They
got plenty of guys that emerged and did a really good job at the wide receiver position. And he underachieved, to say the very least, this year. He never blocked downfield. He didn't run pass routes hard. Several times ball came his way and he wasn't running hard. And everybody's seen that. I'm not unveiling any secret here. It was obvious to anybody watching the game.
By the way, going into the season, everybody was expecting Besh to have a big year. Everybody was.
What happened with that deal? You got any inside info?
I haven't really dug in on that. I mean, I just think that the reality is that with the Besh kid, even coming to LSU, he was always kind of a tweener. Is he a tight end? He's not big enough to be a tight end. He's not fast enough or small enough to be a receiver. He was kind of like that in between. Is he going to be an H-back? Is he going to thin up and become a slot guy? And he got a lot of catches because there wasn't a lot of options his first year. And then expectations got to him. Some other players started to emerge. You got a whole new system. You got a whole new coaching staff who didn't necessarily appreciate what he did the year before because they weren't here. So they had no loyalties to him. It was a bad deal. So how about this? No Jeray Jenkins, no Booty, no Besh. These were the 3 dudes we had coming into this year.
In August, that was the 3 dudes, yeah.
And none of them are going to be there. Has the line
turned
moved?
out to be the 3 Stooges.
Has the line moved for LSU?
Let me take
football?
a peek here. I don't think so.
If Bootsy's absence is
14 and a half, I'm showing over under 56.
Right. Not really making a difference. There was some comments on the YouTube huddle on the 104.5 in the chat. Somebody said, "Why didn't he sit out for the A&M game? It didn't mean anything."
There's more to this story than we don't know now. We'll learn it at some point in time. There's more to this story, but again, everybody's seen it. He didn't put out the effort needed, and who knows what he did in the film room and in practice and everything else in the locker room. So Brian Kelly, one of his assistant coaches, made it clear to me at an LSU baseball game last spring that they had a lot of knuckleheads in the locker room they had to get rid of, and I think Booty was on that list. And they just didn't get rid of him until now, maybe. But according to Coach Kelly, he is enrolled for spring classes. So,
well, I mean, I don't know. Brian Kelly has.
That don't mean you're going to show
Brian
up.
Kelly has said all the right things when it comes to Booty. He gave him the number. He sung his praises all season long. Obviously, there was the press release a couple weeks ago. He's coming back. So, I'm leaning towards it's one of the 2 things. He's either academically ineligible or it was a situation where he chose not to play. In this day and age,
well, that's
most people think
that doesn't just happen at LSU. It's happening nationwide with tons of schools.
By the way, Arkansas up 17-7 now on Kansas. That game's still in the first quarter. 5 minutes to play in the first quarter. Arkansas scored 2 touchdowns.
These bowl games are so weird. Number one is nobody in the stands. I read an article today on one of the things I was reading, how these bowl games are taking a whipping due to NIL, opt-out, and all this different stuff. And then they were kind of pointing at, Brett Venables, the coach at Oklahoma, was getting on a couple of his guys for, opting out. Well, he left Clemson last year. He opted out. So if a coach can do it, why can't a player do it? It's just, I think the unintended consequence of all this NIL, opt-out, opt-in, get ready for the draft stuff, they're going to push fans away from college football. College football is as popular as can be, and maybe going to a 12-game playoffs just what they need to recreate some excitement, because I believe they're trending in the wrong direction as far as fans across the country. You're always going to have the Georgia fans watch the Georgia game, and, Southern Cal fans are going to watch the Southern Cal game. But like it used to be, is everybody going to watch something not in their region, for lack of a better map description? I just think they're pushing people away. People are going to find other things to do with their time.
I would say that, and we're taking a look at the Liberty Bowl. This is not one of the games, as we can see on our screen up there, that's got a full stadium because Arkansas is playing in it. And obviously, it's right there in Memphis. But for the most part, you're right. Outside of the major bowls, the attendance is not an issue. The fact that they're going to go to a 12-game playoff next year is 100%.
2 years.
Or 2 years from now is 100% what the doctor ordered. 100%. But there's going to be a giant divide, even more, between those games and the Independence Bowl or the New Orleans Bowl.
Some of the smaller bowls are going to go away, be it the New Orleans Bowl, Independence Bowl, 2 of the bowls here in our state of Louisiana. That would be 2 of the ones that might go away.
But will they? And what I mean by that is, nowadays – nowadays, teams know, especially at these smaller bowls, it's not about making money. It's about keeping up with the Joneses. It's about, we got to go to a bowl. You just have to.
Well, you want them 14 or 15 practices.
As long as we can break even or come darn close to breaking even, pay my expenses, pay for our staff to go. As long as we can break even, we'll come play in your bowl game. It used to be about a check. Back in the day, it's not anymore.
And the bowl games may get away from conference alignment and go to a more geographical alignment. Like the Independence Bowl might be Tulsa versus Louisiana Tech, or ULL versus Arkansas State.
Always a Louisiana team.
Yeah, or the New Orleans Bowl could be South Alabama and ULL, something like that, because it's regional and it costs less for them to get to the game. It's easier for the fans that might want to go to get to the game because college football fans in New Orleans who have no affiliation to either team playing aren't going to the Dome to watch that game. It's just not happening.
It is going to be, it's. I keep thinking I'm shocked that there's so many bowl games out there, but the number just continues to get bigger, not smaller. And so it leads me to believe that the TV revenue is just big enough. They're able to find enough sponsorship to make it worth its while to pay for these expenses.
Here's a good comment. A buddy of mine, Mark, texted in and said, bowl games have become nothing more than meaningless exhibition games, except for the small games, the smaller schools, like a Tulane who gets to play Southern Cal in the Cotton Bowl. If I'd have told you in August Tulane was playing Southern Cal in the Cotton Bowl, you'd have had my head checked.
Yeah,
you'd have said, how many of those bottles have you drank?
It is, by the way, the Tulane game, they are only a 2-point dog.
1.5 it's down to.
Wow.
I mean, that's basically Pickett, you know? I mean.
I put my money on Southern Cal like a week ago.
This Pratt kid's good. This quarterback at Tulane, I've watched him a little bit. He's good. And he has already declared that he's coming back next year, which is great news for Tulane. Cam Wire, LSU offensive lineman, is switching to Tulane. So Willie Fritz, I don't mind seeing Tulane. We talked about this on radio. I don't mind seeing Tulane do well. When I was a little kid, some of the older brothers in my neighborhood played football at Tulane. When I'm talking about when I'm 8, 9, 10 years old. So my first college football game I ever went to in my life, I went with the Cub Scouts, Tulane, Georgia Tech, in the old Tulane Stadium. And then all of a sudden, as I got a little bit older, I was like, LSU up the road, purple and gold. So, but, I don't have a problem with Tulane doing well. I got a lot of great friends that went to Tulane, played sports, all that good stuff. I have no problem with Tulane. I had a great relationship with Rick Jones when he was coaching there, and Joe Brockhoff, a good relationship with him after he was coaching. So I have no problem with success at Tulane.
The Tulane Green Wave story, and I'm old enough to remember in the 80s when that rivalry was meaningful. And I actually went to Lake Castle, a little private school in New Orleans East that was owned by the Butera family, and Barry and Brian both played baseball at Tulane. So they were giant Tulane fans. So I had to hear it all my life about Tulane. And I remember in the early 80s, and a good friend of ours, right, Alan Risher, lost 3 out of 4 games.
Two.
Two.
He's the only, in 129 years of LSU football, he's the only quarterback to lose to Tulane twice.
Lose Tulane twice, and then lost 3 out of 4 to Mississippi State?
4 out of 4 to Mississippi State. 3 out of 4 when he started.
Right. So, I mean, a tough run for old number 7, although he did take him to the Orange Bowl. But
well, and he was, at the time, was the only quarter to beat Alabama, Florida, and Florida State in the same year.
So the haves and the have-nots.
Yeah,
right?
so old number 7.
When he was favored, he was good. When he was favored, he was bad. When he was an underdog, he was good.
He's still some people's favorite LSU quarterback. Somebody tell me that the other day.
Wait, no way.
That they enjoyed watching him run the veer.
Who doesn't have Joe Burrow as their favorite LSU quarterback?
Yeah, because of what he accomplished.
A Heisman Trophy winner, national championship. Like, listen, I love Allen. I love Dave Wickersham and Hodgson and Burt Jones and all these great quarterbacks, right? Warren Rabb, but come on. Like, there's nobody. I think that's it. Like, there's
Burrow's
Joe
the
greatest.
greatst
They shouldn't even have a second on the list.
It should be Burrow and then turn the page.
Idle. Leave the second spot idle.
Unknown, vacant, vacate the list.
But anyway, the Tulane rivalry was a big one. I'm glad that they're doing well. I'm glad that it's relevant. I think it's good for the state of Louisiana. Anytime UL and Tech and LSU and all that, all the schools are doing well. It's good for recruiting. And listen, the way the NIL portal is, and the transfer portal. If you're a good player at Tulane or a good player at Tech or a good player at UL, you might be starting at LSU next year.
I got a pretty interesting NIL story. That's a fact. It's not a rumor.
All right.
How do I say that? A player in the Southeastern Conference, a couple years starter, wanted to come to LSU. Where he was, gave him a second truck and tripled the money they were giving him. He's staying there.
Yeah.
So he probably called the A&M coach. Hey, that's what LSU said, and then he's going to remain at A&M.
And I don't understand why that doesn't happen more, and I don't understand why it doesn't happen in bowl games. To me, it proves that schools don't really value the bowl games either, because I look at this LSU team with all these players that are opting out, all the defensive linemen. Look at Booty today. Like, why they're not playing in the bowl game? Why isn't somebody stepping up and saying, hey, we'll give you some money to play?
When are we going to have a team decline a bowl invite?
Because they don't have enough?
Or they just,
doesn't
not that
matter to
important.
them.
We don't get a bunch of guys hurt.
Yeah.
You know, you're that South Alabama that it would really dent the budget.
It's never going to happen because teams are, tied in with their conference, and all the other teams in the conference benefit from it. So you're going to have coaches that get bonuses based on bowl games. So they're never going to do that.
Well, you're going to have what we had last year at LSU with 39 scholarship guys and a wide receiver
They'll do
playing
whatever
quarterback.
to play.
Yeah.
They need the practice. They want the money. They have to be
the
good
practices
partner.
are more important than the exhibition bowl game.
We'll take a break. When we come back, Derry Beckwith will join us,
All
a guy
right.
who did not ever sit out a bowl game when he was at LSU. Former national champion linebacker Derry Beckwith will join us next. John Brady, talk LSU Arkansas. That's coming up at 5:30.
AFR.
Get Gordon and get it done. It's Gordon McKernan, injury attorneys, and the G team just keeps on growing. Actually, some pretty fantastic news as Trey Morgan has rejoined the G team for another year. Malik Neighbors as well. Of course, Gordon McKernan, injury attorneys, doing amazing work in the community. Like we talked about the 500 bike giveaway that they did for young people, less fortunate people in our communities around the state of Louisiana. Just another way that Gordon is able to give back, but also through NIL opportunities as well for some great college athletes and using those partnerships. A really cool video, if you haven't seen it yet, on their social media with re-announcing Trey Morgan rejoining the Get Gordon team for this upcoming baseball season with Gordon and Trey at the bike giveaway. So make sure you check it out on the Gordon McKernan social media. Go to Get Gordon on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys on Facebook as well. If you've been injured and you need an attorney, you know what to do. Get Gordon and get it done.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off MSRP on a new 2022 Ford F-150, plus no payments for 90 days and 2.9% APR for 72 months. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you. Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
We're back, everybody, on AFR. Ronnie Rance and Tommy Chrysan here at Sports Shorts Radio Takeover. We had Joel Davis last hour. Joining us right now is Derry Beckwith. Derry Beckwith is joining us, our regular contributor on Sports Shorts Radio on Saturday mornings. What's up, D?
What's going on, Ronnie? How are you doing today, brother?
I'm doing fantastic, my friend. Why are these LSU players, not just LSU players, college football players these days at the big-time Power 5 conferences, why do they not care about bowl games anymore? I mean, wasn't it it was a big deal not that long ago, 15 years ago when you played?
It was a big deal when I was playing, but now since the media is not making it a big deal, the kids don't think it's a big deal. In today's college football, if you're not in the playoffs, if you're not in the hunt for the playoffs, they feel like that their season is not a success. They feel like making it to a bowl game and having something else to accomplish besides winning the championship, there's no point in them playing in it. So I think, especially in kids this generation, they are very influenced by things that's going around them. And so if they see on TV, if they see on social media, if they see ESPN marketing the college football championship at the beginning of the season, and they're now making the bowl games a big deal, then they're not going to take it as a big deal. And a lot of them don't want to risk an injury for a bowl game. In their minds, that doesn't mean anything.
Is that ever going to change? I mean, what can they do to make it change, Derry, as far as getting these players to care?
I know a lot of people are not going to like this, but they're going to have to start doing NIL with the bowl games. I know, for instance, LSU. I think a few guys got some bowl endorsements. I know Nussmeier was a guy that got a deal with Cheez-It. So I think they're going to have to enhance the NIL, the bowl games themselves, how they're going to start paying kids and giving them endorsements. And then the bowl games maybe have to come up with some bonuses or some incentives. Or even the school have incentives for these kids to play in this bowl game to complete their season. Because now I'm looking at LSU and Purdue. Purdue starting quarterback is not playing. Purdue's top receiver, who had statistically the best year as a receiver, he's not playing. I mean, for God's sake, Ronnie, you may have to play defensive line in this game for LSU because they have no D linemen. Obviously, we see the news today that Kayshawn's not playing. So it's just they have to do something better for this because I think the ratings will take an effect because people are not going to be interested in watching the football game. Me personally, I played for LSU. I went to LSU. But I am not excited to watch this football game for those various reasons for guys not playing in it.
Look, by the way, Arkansas up 24-7 on Kansas going into the second quarter. So Arkansas putting it all over them early. All right, so LSU still a 14.5-point favorite. The line hasn't really moved much since the Booty announcement earlier today. It's kind of a battle of the rosters, right? I mean, who's LSU going to play on the D line? Who's Purdue going to throw in a quarterback? I mean, it's hard to bet on this game, and that's probably why I haven't made a bet on this game. I want to wait, see maybe the day before what the final rosters look like, or maybe even wait till warm-ups to see who's out there. There might be some surprises, ineligible players, or some things that might happen between now and the start of the game. So it's for a Citrus Bowl game and an opportunity to win 10 games, it's probably the most lackluster I've felt about an LSU football game ever for a bowl game from a standpoint of what all is on the line.
Yeah, the thing about this, Ronnie, in the past, if you had a New Year's Day bowl, or even if you played the day after New Year's, that was a big deal. To say that you got a New Year's Day bowl, or you playing the day after New Year's, that's a big deal. But now you don't know who's playing. You don't know what's going to happen before the game. If I would have told you this morning, and I woke up that Kayshawn Butte wasn't going to play, I wouldn't have believed you. So these things come down to the last minute, and so like you said, the day before the game, you may hear more players not playing or opting out. And so what it's doing is taking away the fanfare, and it's not as interesting to watch bowl games. I didn't even know Arkansas was playing Kansas State right now. I had no idea until you mentioned it. So, because my whole mind right now for me is the college playoffs. I want to see Ohio State beat Georgia because I don't like Stetson Bennett. I want to see how TCU is going to perform against Michigan. So those are things that I'm excited about just because of the attention that's being brought to it.
Yeah, Kansas right now at a pretty crowded Liberty Bowl over in Memphis, large Arkansas contingency and a decent Kansas contingency. They're not used to being in bowls, so they've traveled well for this one. Jalen Daniels, the starting quarterback for Kansas, is in there. He's the young man that got Kansas off to a great start and then got hurt, and then the season kind of went down, but he came back, wasn't 100% late November, and now he's in there. It's the quarterback. But Arkansas offensively has figured things out. This is an Arkansas offense we expected to see. They scored 24 points in the first quarter. My goodness. And they're all over Kansas right now. Basketball, we'll talk to John Brady coming up in about 5 minutes. A little LSU, Arkansas basketball. When we go to break, we'll talk to him about that game tonight. Derry, what's the biggest thing you're going to be looking for this week in the LSU game? I mean, one good thing is, right, we know they got Harold Perkins, and he'll be playing. What is it that you're looking forward to seeing without a defensive line where you only have maybe one starter and you got a bunch of guys who hadn't played much that are going to be playing a lot? How is that going to affect the linebacker position, a position you played?
It's going to affect it because now you don't have seasoned D linemen. You don't have D linemen without experience. So now this game, particularly the inside linebacker position, they're going to have to be able to play fast and get off blocks because the starters that's normally in front of you, they may not be able to hold offensive linemen long enough until they get to the second level. So now you got to be a lot more physical and get off blocks. The other two things I'm looking at is this. Offensively, I'm wanting to see if Mike Denbrock is going to make some adjustments and make some changes to the offense because next year you got Jaden Dance coming back. You have basically all your receivers coming back. Are you going to open it up a little bit more? Then a second thing is this. On defense, Mike Jones is now listed at the jack linebacker position where B.J. Ojulari is playing. I'm really interested to see Mike Jones play that position because I said early in the year that Mike Jones naturally is not an inside linebacker. His real fit is playing outside linebacker and let him rush the passer. So I'm thinking if Mike Jones has a big game, you will see him back in LSU football uniform playing that jack linebacker next year.
Hey, listen, you said it when you first came on that you expect the NIL money to flow in the future. I'm surprised it hasn't already. But Mike Jones is definitely a player with a skill set that hasn't quite found the niche. So I'll be keeping an eye on what you're talking about as far as watching him this week because he's a player that when he came over from Clemson, you kind of thought he was going to burst and be more disruptive than what he's been. And maybe all the attention going on Perkins will open things up for him in more of his natural spot. By the way, Derry, you'll be excited to know that on YouTube we have a new picture. We even have an action photo of you making a tackle in your LSU days. So gone is the McDonald's regional manager photo we had on OTB a few weeks ago when you joined us when we pinch hit. So you'll be happy to know that.
I'm so excited. I'm glad you guys changed the picture because look, Ronnie, I'm a representative of sports shorts, so I want to make sure that I'm represented right. So I don't have a picture of me standing in front of a McDonald's like I just ate a McGriddle. So I'm glad we got that updated.
Listen, by the way, tell the folks we've been seeing a lot of good stuff about the Derry Beckwith Foundation. Man, you do it right. You give back in your community. For those that don't know about the Derry Beckwith Foundation, give us 30 seconds on it.
Yeah, so we provide resources and tools for student athletes in the area to give them a different insight and different perspective outside of sports. So we do different things to prepare them when the game does end because everyone knows that when sports does end, you have to have another identity and you have to have another purpose. And so we provide them with a purpose, we provide them with a sense of identity, and make sure that when they're done, they realize their potential beyond the field or basketball court. So visit DerryBeckwithFoundation.org to get involved in any way possible.
Check it out, Derry Beckwith Foundation. They do some great work in the community, mentoring for youth, and Derry's in there, man, making it happen. Great guy. Thank you for the time, my brother. We'll see you on Saturday at Sports Shorts.
Sounds good, Ronnie. Have a good one.
All right, Derry Beckwith joining us right there. We'll take a break. When we come back, some LSU hoops talk with the man himself, Final Four coach John Brady. He'll be calling the game tonight, 8 o'clock in the PMAC, 11-1 LSU, 11-1 Arkansas. Arkansas, a 4-point favorite. We'll talk to Coach Brady next when we return on AFR.
AFR.
If you are even thinking about selling your home, I'm going to give you a phone number. I'm going to give you the only phone number that you will need. I'm going to give you Darren James's phone number. It's Darren's cell. Like, you can call this number, you can text this number, and you are literally calling or texting the phone number that Darren James has in his pocket or on his hip. I'm talking about the realtor that sells more homes than anybody. A guy on the Wall Street Journal is listed the top 1,000 realtors in America based on the number of homes sold. You ready? 335-7666. 335-7666 or agent225.com. Of course, you can go to the website, agent225.com. If you need to sell your home, you need to maximize your return on the home, you want a hassle-free, pleasant experience, you need Darren James. 335-7666 or agent225.com. If you need to sell your home, you need Darren James. Agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $10,000 off MSRP on all new 2022 Black Widow Jeep Gladiators in stock. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
Every business is different, but B1 Bank knows that every business owner has similar needs. From streamlining accounts receivables to maintaining access to working capital, a trusted bank is your best asset for staying on top of day-to-day finances and planning for future business growth. At B1 Bank, I know I have access to commercial banking experts who care about the needs of my business and can guide me to accomplish my goals. B1 Bank knows that managing your business isn't simple, but they can help you make it uncomplicated.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales service and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Time doesn't stop, and the world keeps spinning. Community, culture, and communications, the powerful circle that connects us together. We're creating the next evolution, a network built for every possibility, moving faster than ever before, streaming us forward into the future. And the revolution is closer than you think. RTC, ETEL, and Vision are now Rev. New name, same company.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
AFR is brought to you by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge, Ambassador Caffrey in Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. That's theantiagingclinics.com. I want to remind you that we're getting toward the new year. It's almost New Year's resolution time, but you can get a jump start on that New Year's resolution. If it's to get in shape, to lose weight, to look and feel your best. hormone replacement therapy could be the option for you. The Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana are a nation's leader. They were voted the nation's #1 aesthetic practice in the country back in Las Vegas at the National Aesthetic Show. And they're right here in Baton Rouge. So schedule that consultation. Go have that blood draw, run your labs, and let them tell you if hormone replacement therapy could help you feel like your younger self again. You can learn more online at theantiagingclinics.com. That's theantiagingclinics.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to AFR. Ronnie Rance alongside Tommy Chrysan here in studio. Joining us is former LSU basketball coach who'll be on the call tonight on the LSU Sports Radio Network. The Tigers, after 12 non-conference games, Coach John Brady finally get into SEC play tonight. We're going to learn a lot about these Tigers going against the 9th-ranked Arkansas Razorbacks, aren't we?
Well, you're right, Ronnie. We're 11-1. Played K-State, and that game, was a bizarre ending, taking 2 off the board to keep it from going to overtime in the Cayman Islands. And then, we came back against Wake Forest, who's got a great name, but I don't know how good a team they have as it compares to the rest of the teams in the ACC. And we've played the last 4 or 5 games. We've had 6-minute games with some mid-major schools. So I think our record is really good. But are we good enough to play with the top echelon of the SEC? And this will be an opportunity tonight to see where we are.
Well, the other thing, too, is, Arkansas comes in ranked as high as number 9 in one of the polls. But if you dig within their record, and I haven't watched a lot of Arkansas, but I'm looking at their scores. I'm looking at the statistics. They've got a win against a ranked team. They've got a loss against a ranked team. And then they've got other games where it looked like they took care of business. Now, 3-4 games ago, they had themselves an ETSU-type game where they won by single digits against a team with a losing record. But, we'll find out if Arkansas is worthy of a 9 and 10 ranking because it's a little high based off of just the body of work.
I totally agree, and I believe there's some teams in the SEC that are highly ranked, like Tennessee tonight is struggling with Ole Miss and Oxford, and Tennessee's well thought of. So I'm interested to see after tonight's game how the SEC plays out against one another. But this is an opportunity for LSU at home to steal a win. Arkansas's without 2 of their main players tonight. But I think the key to the game for LSU is to make Arkansas beat you in the half court. They score a lot of buckets in the paint, but they're not throwing it to Shaquille. They're turning you over. They're creating steals. They're fast breaking up the floor. They're getting balls in the paint. They're a poor 3-point shooting team, and if we can keep them out of the paint, take care of the ball, don't turn it over, don't put them on the free throw line, and make them earn baskets in the half court, I think LSU has an opportunity to win the game.
By the way, speaking of Tennessee, Ole Miss, they're playing right now. Tennessee's up 5 with 8 minutes to play in that game over in Oxford. John, first off, before we continue on talking about this year's team, I do have to bring up a blast from the past, and you helped participate in this event. The Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame, we've got an event coming up, and you were kind enough to give of your time like a lot of people did last week. We've got some social media videos that are going to come out next week, a documentary that we're working on that is going to be hilarious and is going to be fantastic. But one of your super fans, when you were playing, coaching at LSU, you had 2 teams that everybody remembers, 2000 Sweet 16 team with Stromeisle, and then, of course, in 2006 when you guys went to the Final Four and you had all the Baton Rouge and Louisiana players. But you had Casey McKenzie, who was leading the way in 2000 in the student section with the basketball cut off, head on top of his head. There's a famous picture of you wearing it after y'all won the SEC championship that year. And you guys have been friends for a long time. Well, Casey's doing a Hall of Fame benefit, and it's a boxing wrestling event, and he's taking on Mariah Moranto. For those that don't know, here's a little commercial. I'm going to play it for you, Coach, and then I want to get your reaction. This is going to take place January 13th at the Lamar Dixon Expo Center in Gonzales. The Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame presents Friday the 13th Night Fights. 7 pro wrestling matches January 13th at the Lamar Dixon Expo Center and 1 celebrity boxing match for the ages. Pro Wrestling 225 and Gulf States Wrestling will feature 7 matches.
4 of which will be for championship belts. All the proceeds to benefit the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame Foundation, Dreams Come True, and St. Jude. Get your tickets now because the main event, Glitz vs. Grits, will take place immediately following the wrestling, featuring Casey the Rougarou McKenzie. From Back Bruley, no career wins, but no career losses. And he will take on Ryan, the Pied Piper of Partying Maranto. He's never won a fight. He's never lost an after party. Get your tickets now. The Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame presents Glitz versus Grits, January 13th. Get your tickets at lasportshall.com. That's lasportshall.com. And special thanks to the following sponsors.
That's epic right there. That's unbelievable.
So, Coach,
Casey was great when I was here, but I'll tell you this, and I told you this the other day, and we were cutting a couple of those spots. I've always been aware of the Sports Hall of Fame, and it's a great honor for guys that have gotten in it. But you have brought it to be more visible with the public, and the things that you do for it. You're to be commended on that because you've brought that thing to light over the last 4 or 5 years or however long you've been running it.
Well, thank you, Coach, for those kind words, and you've also been a big help, man. You helped us out by coming to our golf tournaments and things like that, so we appreciate your time. But January 13th, what's on the calendar, Coach? Where are they playing that night? Are you going to be able to come to this event?
I can't come because I think we're out of town that night. I looked at it with Casey, and we're out of town. I'm not going to be able to be there. Otherwise, I'd be there front row, beating on the canvas, trying to help Casey win something.
Well, we'll definitely get you the video of the fight for sure. We'll get that to you. But let's get back to. By the way, folks can get those tickets at lasportshall.com. It's going to be a legendary event. How about this, Coach? We've already sold out all 40 of our tables. All 40 of our VIP tables are sold out for the event.
Well, that's incredible. What an event! And it's unique too. Nothing else has ever been done like that. Is to get the people behind you that are involved in it. Some of the name guys, some of the businesses in town. That's a credit to you.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate it. All right, let's TK. I know let's talk back on LSU basketball for a minute. What do you kind of expect from LSU? I know we're hoping for the best tonight, but what have you seen, and what do you kind of expect out of this team tonight?
Well, I expect us to defend them well. I expect us to guard well without fouling, and that's the key tonight, to not get in foul trouble. The thing I worry about with LSU tonight is foul trouble and our ability to score the ball. KJ Williams has proven he's a consistent scorer. He's playing at a high level. But our other guys have got the come-and-go blues. Cam Hayes has had good games. The other night he didn't score much at all. He got in foul trouble. Adam Miller has started well, but the last 3 games he has shot it very poorly. Against a good defensive team in the half court like Arkansas, somebody's got to score the ball besides KJ Williams. I know teams are going to try to double-team him, take him out, make him uncomfortable on the offensive end. And can we score consistently with other people? I think that's a challenge for LSU tonight. And then also LSU, that we don't have a lot of quality depth that can score. And can we stay out of foul trouble with our main guys?
Coach, I got a question for you. You've gotten to know Matt McMahon now. You've watched him coach practice. You've watched him coach games. You've been around him off the court or outside of the arena. Coach, give us your early read on Matt McMahon, number 1 as a coach, and number 2 as a person.
I think he's an excellent basketball coach. And I grade a basketball coach by what they do out of timeouts and what they do underneath the goal and trying to get easy baskets with inbounds plays. I judge a coach by how they get the ball inbounds against full court pressure late in the game. Those are teaching points that coaches put players in situations where they can be successful in those type of plays, and he does that. And I'm not saying the ball's going to go in all the time or we're going to score every time, but they do have a plan in all of those special situations how to have the opportunity to score, and I think that's coaching. I think Coach McMahon also has a great perspective of where this team is and where it needs to go. He doesn't get too upset about winning or even when we lost the game. He's got a bigger picture and a bigger vision. He knew this year was going to be a rebuilding year, maybe a difficult year within the league, and I think he's okay with that. Certainly, if we win 20 games and if we go 500 in the league with 11-1 preseason record, we're going to the NCAA tournament. But that remains to be seen if we can stay healthy and do the things necessary to get to 8-8. But his perspective about where he is when he took this thing over, I think, is very good. And he's a tremendous guy. I mean, he's family oriented. He's different than Will, but different sometimes is not good or bad. It's just different. And I think it will play out over the next 2 or 3 years and how well he does here by what he does on the floor and how many games his team wins.
Talking with Coach John Brady. Coach, you mentioned 8-8 in the league based off of the really good non-conference record. Should be enough to get a bid. What NIT? Okay, I know nobody wants to go to the NIT, but that's probably more realistic for this team. What does that season have to look like? How many wins in conference based off of 11-1 preseason would probably get them an NIT situation?
I think I could win 6 games in the league and get an at-large NIT bid. You know, Will's first year, that's what he did with Johnny's players that were here. But the difference in what Matt took over than what Will took over, Johnny left Will 2 or 3 pretty good players. You know, Skylar Mays was on that team. They had some guys that were pretty good. We had 10 guys leave. He's got 10 new players, 3 players returning. Only 2 of those 3 played last year, and Adam Miller, supposedly the best player, didn't play at all because of a knee injury. So it's been a total rebuild. Thank goodness for the portal. You know, we had kind of a total rebuild when we took this thing over, but we had to go through the draft, so to speak, and go recruit, find guys and sit a year and all that sort of stuff. You don't have to do that anymore. So I think we have a good collection of players. I don't think we're good enough to win the league by any shape of the imagination, but I also think we have a chance to be in that 7 group, 6, 7, 8 group, depending on how many close games we can win, in SEC play.
By the way, Coach, Tennessee up 3, Ole Miss at the line shooting 2 with 4:15 to play. So got ourselves a heck of a game. Thanks for the time, Coach Brady. We'll see you tonight, 8 o'clock in the PMAC.
Okay. Thank you all. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Coach John Brady right there. He'll be on the call tonight on the LSU Sports Radio Network. The Tigers 4-point dog. Arkansas missing 2 of their key players tonight's game. So if you're betting, make sure you know that. I wish someone had told me that a little early because I put a pretty big bet on Arkansas -4.
You'll be all right. You're going to be all right.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. Final segment of AFR. I'm Ronnie Rance. He's Tommy Christ. We'll be back right after this.
AFR.
My dad just really enjoyed his life, and he enjoyed smoking cigars and thought he was invincible. My stepdad quit smoking, and he really felt like he was in the clear. Sorry. I wish they would have been screened annually. It's not just you affect, it's your entire family.
For more information on Ochsner's free smoking cessation program and to see if you qualify for early lung screenings, visit ochsner.org/quit.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off MSRP on a new 2022 Ford F-150, plus no payments for 90 days and 2.9% APR for 72 months. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
Nearly half of children in foster care drop out of school. But you can rewrite that story. Children and youth with CASA and GAL volunteers are more likely to succeed in school. Change a child's story. Become a volunteer today.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. the nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal, supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are Louisiana loyal. Always.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
By the way, Arkansas, 31-7. They're putting it on Kansas. 5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Arkansas was a 1.5-point favorite.
Well, both teams are 6-6 coming in. I guess you got to go to the Arkansas, the SEC. It just means more.
Means more. They care more. They're healthier. They're better players. Kansas played a bunch of nobodies, kind of overshot a little bit early in the season. So if you bet Arkansas, you can go.
You're in the rocking chair.
You can get your crab meat on top tonight.
You're in the rocking chair if you bet Arkansas.
All right, so real quick, a little plug for the Baton Rouge Rougarou. For those watching on YouTube, you've been seeing the gear. Tommy's got the gear. TK helps us. He's the voice of the Rougarou in the summer. And you can get your tickets right now online at brrougarou.com. We got a family 4-pack of season tickets. We're running a special to the end of the month for only $75. That's less than $1 a ticket. The prices will go up after that. But you can go online, brrougarou.com, get your tickets now. And then also we got some great gear on there. Well, big announcement coming in January. We'll be announcing our coaching staff. We'll be announcing the signing of some players. But we do know the schedule's up. Go to brrougarou.com. The schedule's online. And you can first opening games May 30th. So mark your calendar. Tuesday, May 30th, opening day. Give us a prediction, man. LSU football, 14.5-point favorite. Players coming and going for both sides. People don't want to be there for both sides. We know the weather's going to be great, unlike some of the time that they've been in Orlando. Who do you like? And
if I had to make a bet today, and of course it could change with news that came out in the coming days, I'd take LSU and lay to 14.5. The 3 top offensive producing players for Purdue and not playing, that makes a difference. Their coaches left. That makes a difference. Drew Brees is coaching. I don't know if that's good or bad. But if I had to bet today, I'd take LSU and lay to 14.5.
I'll tell you, Tommy, I'm looking to see real quick if it's moved. But rather than the 14.5, why don't you just take the under? Because are teams going to be able to score? LSU doesn't have receivers. They don't have defense. They don't
have running backs.
Yeah, I mean, like that's what I'm curious about. I would probably lean on the side of the under in this LSU game. And
I'm looking at 56 is the over-under. And 14.5 still the line on the score app.
Yeah, and 56 on mine. You got 56.5. Take the under. That's the one I would do.
I don't mind. I can see that a little bit.
All right, he's Tommy Krysan. Special thanks to all of our guests today. Hope Matt has a wonderful new year. Thanks for listening and watching AFR. I'm Ronnie Rance. Have a great one, everybody.
AFR.
Brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. 288-8138, 288-8138, or ReliefWindows.com. Energy-efficient replacement windows, beautiful entry doors, hardy plank, vinyl siding. They do it all. And at Relief Windows, they will never take $1 from you until you are thrilled with the work. Seriously, no deposit, no down payment. They do not want $1 from you until you are thrilled with the work that they do. That's Relief Windows. And what a time of year. We are moving to the winter months, and this is the time of year when those leaky, drafty windows can become costly. Of course, lets the cold air in, the warm air from your heater out. Make your home more energy efficient. Lower your monthly energy bills. Increase your home's resale value with energy efficient replacement windows from Relief Windows. 288-8138 or ReliefWindows.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.